What's up, everybody, and welcome to a band, the real life misadventures of Rick Dunsford and friends. And everybody, welcome. I'm Dustin Bonez, and welcome the man of the hour, Rick Dunsford.
What up? What up? What up? What's up?
So we're going to talk about Team Brazil today and lay the foundation here because I know some people in the GNR community are going to see the title of this episode and expect that me and Rick are going to sit down for an hour or so and we're just going to shit talk Team Brazil.
Yeah, fuck these motherfuckers.
I mean, that's not what's going to happen today. Today's actually a really positive episode. We've not got anything but good things to say in this episode. So,
Yep.
Let's start from the beginning. Who is Team Brazil? Let's explain that to people who maybe don't know who these guys are.
Well, Team Brazil consists of a mother named Betta. Yeah, so Betta came into the picture with Stephanie back in the early '90s as she was just pretty much Axel's housekeeper. Ended up getting promoted and becoming a manager. And then her son, Fernando, becomes the manager now. He has zero experience in that field, but kudos, they got.
What happened? Does anybody know how that happened?
I guess it's just a trust thing. Axel only trusted these individuals,
And she was originally Stephanie Seymour's babysitter, right?
Yep.
Okay.
She was Axel's housekeeper. Fernando was, I guess, Axel's pool boy, dog walker, errand boy, whatever. I've heard different stories. What his
Wait, are you okay? I was about to ask, are you being serious there? Or are you trying to be fun?
I'm dead serious, man. Who was it? I think it was Tom Zutai told me that Fernando was just like I believe he was the pool boy. Yeah, so that's and then I've heard errand boy. It's just a lot of different odd jobs that this dude's had. I know it was like 20 years ago. He posted some pictures on his photo bucket of his where he's playing of his gaming towers and all that. In Axel's house and stuff. It used to be up on photo bucket. I haven't seen the photos in a while, but yeah. But I mean, these it's just pretty much these this family that's just living off Axel.
Okay.
Axel supports.
So Team Brazil consists of course, Betta is probably the head of the team. Fernando, they're all family. They're all related somehow. And then Fernando's Betta's son. Fernando's the tour manager?
That was the manager now.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a promotion.
Okay. So then there's, who else is in this? I mean, those are the two we're going to talk about mainly, but there's others. There's lots of others.
Well, the others really have no kind of importance to the story. I guess it's just really these two that right here are going to be, and honestly, really Betta's not really going to be a major part of it, but it's mostly going to be Fernando.
Yeah. So basically, Betta's Axl Rose's personal assistant. Is that fair to say? Is that her title?
I'm not sure exactly what the title is now, but it was somewhere along those lines,
Okay. And Fernando, what is his official title?
He's the band's manager.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the band's manager.
Okay. So now we got mixed up with these people at the first show I think you and I ever went to together in Atlanta and Kansas City. Is that right?
Yeah. So, well, what it was is our first show together was the Atlanta, Georgia show, and at the Phillips Arena. So that's the first time that we met Fernando, which he was walking through the front during the show, and I remember spotting him because there was this Axl Rose guitar pick that I really wanted. There was, I believe it was like 40 or $50 at the time on eBay, and I just can't see paying that amount for a guitar pick. So I was saw Fernando, and I'm like, hey, bro, can I get an Axl Rose guitar pick that they're too expensive on eBay. I don't want to pay $40-50 for it. So this dude comes out a few minutes later with a handful of Axl picks and just handing them all out to us.
Yeah, he had a lot of them. Like, he had a handful. Because I got one, you got one. Whoever was with us, somebody was with us that day. Who was that? Or was that just somebody we met in line?
It was Ryan.
Ryan.
And Brent from
okay, that's right.
Birmingham, yeah.
I mean, we just talked about this story. I should remember, but I mean, it's in the archives if you go back a few episodes to GNR in Atlanta. We've got some really good other stories that took place, but we purposefully didn't tell this one because we knew we were going to get around to telling, doing this episode where it would fit in better.
Yeah, so with with getting those guitar picks from Fernando, so we go to our next show, which is going to be Kansas City in 2011. Which that show was pretty awesome because it's available on a bootleg from my live stream that I would do. And this is before he had a. Well,
before we get to there, let's wrap up the first time meeting Fernando. Like, how I really don't remember. I remember him coming out with the picks in his hand. I remember, how did we see Fernando the first time, to know who he was, to wave him over or anything like that? Like, how did he get from backstage doing whatever the hell he does back there to mixed up with us?
All right. Well, at one point, during the Chinese tours, him and Beta would come out to the front all the time and just, I guess, walk around. I guess to shake hands, kiss babies, or whatnot. Just to have that celebrity fame, I guess, that they would experience with the GNR crowd. But I knew who he was. I knew who Beta was, especially if you watched the Rock in Rio, the 2001 show where Axl brings Beta on stage.
Yeah.
He discusses Fernando on that too. So it was real easy to spot him and find him because that's the only Brazilian mafia you're going to find at these shows.
We need to talk about the Brazilian mafia for a second, because we've made the joke on this show and on Guns and Radio about Axl Rose being wrapped up in the Brazilian mafia. The way that where that joke comes from is from another podcast, which was just a Smear Rick Dunsford podcast disguised as a goddamn Storage Wars podcast.
I wonder how many of those are out there.
And it's since been taken down. But
imagine that.
In that show, which we'll get to that later, in this saga, we'll be definitely talking about that. In the saga of how Rick got banned, we'll talk about that a little more. But the reason we say that and make that joke for everybody who doesn't know is because the Robert Byrd podcast, where he's like trying to tell his side of the story, he claims that Axl Rose is mixed up with the Brazilian mafia, and that's why like Beta and Fernando are where they are. And it just seems a little ridiculous to me.
It's pretty funny though, man. But I mean, but that's all he's surrounded by. It's just this Brazilian family. They control literally everything for him.
You think Axl Rose is in the same situation as Britney Spears?
Oh, I wonder, man. That's pretty interesting. I know that I know he's unstable. There's always been rumors in the early 2000s or whatnot. Especially the cancellation and all that. I remember reading all these rumors about his mental health and whatnot. So, hey, you never know. It's probably the closest thing to a family he has.
I mean, yeah. Everybody deserves to have that group of people that they can just be themselves around, where you don't have to be Axl. You can just be Axl. You don't have to be Axl Rose,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great for these guys too. You know, I mean, they reap the benefits. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's worked out well for them. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's worked out really great for them. So, you know, like, so anytime I go to a show, you know, like, I'm always like, it's like I'm always some kind of hunt, or, you know, scavenger hunt. You know, I'm always trying to get something cool. You know, whether it's just a set list, guitar picks, drumsticks. I mean, anything. You know, like a signature. But so, so that's how Atlanta ended. You know what I mean? We got our guitar picks, which was I was excited about because I always wanted the Axel picks. I still got it framed. You know.
oh
So
yeah,
we
I
go.
still got mine too.
So we go to you know, about a month or so later, we go to Kansas City. Now, this is going to be a really cool show because, you know, before you have your Facebook Live and all this mess, there wasn't really a whole lot of streaming platforms, you know, to do like live streams. And so there was this app called Ustream, I believe it was. It's one of the first kind of streaming apps. And before you
It,
would have, go ahead.
I was gonna say UStream is still around today. It's just not free anymore.
Oh, okay. So that's what I used back 11 years ago. So
Yeah.
or 10 years ago. But so what I did with this was and this is before we had these like nice battery packs to recharge your phone. I had this little Duracell. You just put two batteries in, and you hook your charger into it, and it'll recharge your phone for like I guess like 15 minutes or whatever. Those batteries go through quick. But so we're like live streaming this concert.
Well,
And I
how
remember
did you get the? Why did you live stream the concert? Like, what made you? What gave you the idea to do that? Like,
because I mean I would always, you know, like I guess the my GNR form, you know, like I was that was my the site I was obsessed with for man like years, dude. I would go to it every day. That's where I would go to get all my news, and I would go to read about shows. And I know as concerts were happening, you know, you'd have members at the shows, you know, texting updates. All right, guys, you're playing John Denver right now. They're going into bed, or you know, they're going through the set list, you know, and they're like, oh shit, and there was a time now. Come on, you know, like we're just everybody's just sharing the excitement. So my idea was, well, fuck, you know, I don't want to sit there and just post on a message board all day. So let's just live stream this bitch, you know, and do that. So um, so right when the show started, man, I remember I had my charger in my pocket right here, and I was just live streaming it. I remember security looking at me, seeing all these cords coming out. They're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing, man?" Like, so we're about halfway through the show, man, and I noticed I'm out of batteries now, and I'm on my last set, and I'm letting everybody know that the stream's probably going to be ending soon because I do not have enough juice to continue. So at that point, I'm like, all right, tweet Fernando and tell him to bring me some batteries. You know, that was just a shot in the dark. I didn't think people were really going to do this, you know? But 10 minutes later, dude, no lie, like it's pitch black and you see these flashlights coming and then they're looking in the crowd. And then all of a sudden these lights come on me and Fernando's like, hey, you're the one that needed batteries, right? I'm like, yes. Handed me a big stack of batteries.
yeah, it was like this big. You can't see on the radio, but it's like I don't know, about a foot and a half tall by about I'd say a foot wide. It was this huge bundle of AA batteries.
And you remember security was like at one point told me that I can't be doing that I can't live stream the show. And so this
Yeah,
is like
them Bumblefoot.
well, no, actually, this is right before Fernando came out. And
Oh.
so when Fernando came out, I told him, I said, hey, this guy over here told me that I can't stream. And I said, is that all right? Fernando told me, yeah, you can. Just be kosher about it. It wasn't his exact words. Be kosher about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever the hell that means. So I'm just going to continue live streaming. I remember that security was kind of unhappy about it, but that shit he can do whenever. I'm not sure what his job title at the time was in 2011. Probably a tour manager or
I
something.
think he was the tour manager. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, during that time, yeah, I believe he was in bed. I don't know who was it. I'm not sure exactly who was managing the band at this time. All I know is who's doing it now.
I mean, we have an argument between tour manager and part-time minimum wage security guard. Who's going to win?
Yeah, man. Come on. But So, what was cool about that show though is I had a sign that says "Smile for the boards." Like just kind of just let them know that I was streaming this for the boards. And I know this another guy came out and took my sign away, and he said, "Hey, Axel wants a sign." And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck does he want for?" Well, come to find out, he signed it for me, but security never brought it back to me.
Ah.
So
Yeah, I think we found that out later, though, when we were talking to Fernando, because we used to be real cool with this cat.
yeah, he
I,
told us that the sign was signed and we should have been giving it back.
there was
And
a time when this guy, I considered him almost a friend.
he would hook me up, man. He would do he did a lot for me, dude, like a whole lot. So but then I keep I guess like in the so my next experience with him was going to be in Nashville in 2011. I know you set that show out because you were
Yeah.
going to do the South Haven, but
Yeah.
I was in line waiting, and I remember Matt was with me, and we were doing this. This homeless guy was harassing us at the time,
Of
and
course.
and I remember,
That
Matt,
happens.
I had this program on my computer called like After Effects or whatever, where you can just add like electricity coming out of your hands. So
I remember that.
when the homeless guy was coming up talking, I would like just he was looking at me all crazy because I was just throwing my hands up at him like this because I was gonna and Matt was videoing it and we were gonna make this little skit called Bum Busters or something,
I remember Bumbuster.
But
Well, they act real strange and they don't smell good. Who you gonna call?
so so during this time, man, I see this Brazilian dude walking down in this like skin tight, like I don't know, it's like this green and black like full body suit, man. Like it's like real tight, man. I don't know what some kind of
Like a
athletic.
scuba diver?
Yeah, it was like a scuba suit or something. It looked like. And
Homie been swimming?
I realized it was Fernando, and I'm like, what the hell is he wearing, man? Like, okay. So we're just talking, and then so at that point I start planting the seed that first off I was telling him about thanks for the batteries in Kansas City, and that was the night that I got tweeted the first time by Guns N' Roses. They were thanking me for the patience or whatever in regards to the
Yeah.
batteries. Um,
What we do is secret is one of the things they said in that tweet. It was a very bizarre tweet.
yeah, I was just I was totally fanboying out because like my favorite band tweeted me, man. So it was pretty.
It got
cool,
me to watch a really good movie, though, that tweet did. If you haven't seen What We Do Is Secret, because I was trying to figure out what the fuck they were talking about. So I Googled What We Do Is Secret, and it turned out there was a movie called What We Do Is Secret about a band that you probably have heard of, Rick, called The Germs.
Yeah.
And turns out, if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend it. It's really good.
Well, like that. So that experience with Fernando, I had a picture made with him. And then that night I had after party passes that we talked about last week. Ron hooked me up with.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I remember being backstage at that show, but like I was telling you last week about the story of my after party pass. I was holding up the Sharpie, and when I was holding it up, man, I had my arm like this, and I was trying to hold up my Sharpie because I mean, you can't really just have a conversation from the front row and tell the guy, "Hey, come to the after party, which I'm holding this pass for, and come sign my arm for a tattoo." Axel took it as, "Oh, this guy just wants me to sign his pass." Okay, well, I'm not going to complain. I was happy about that because that's a cool piece to have. But
Oh, yeah.
what I wanted was eventually to get the signatures. What I was trying to get.
Yeah.
So we were backstage at this party. I remember seeing Beta back there. I saw Fernando back there, and which I'm kicking myself for because I didn't want to be the annoying guy to keep bothering him every time I saw him, or asking him shit every time I saw him. So I just kind of waved, and just didn't bother him anymore. I was just kind of just hanging out at this party. But little did I know is after the show, he was grabbing a couple people from that party and taking them to this Monster energy drink shoot where you get like a meet and greet with Axel, and I'm like, well, fuck. Man, I wish I would have just went up to him and told him, hey, let me give her that picture. But you know,
Yeah, he probably would have done it too.
I know he probably would have. He wouldn't now, but because
we're getting to that part of the story.
Yeah, and then like so after this, man, I started realizing, you know, like I see a lot of people that do meet Axel and get close with them, and it's kind of like this big ass kissing organization going on here. You know what I mean? Like, if you kiss enough ass, you're gonna get what you're gonna get some cool shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, if I'm inclined to disagree with you. If it wasn't for the fact that I was there and I saw your technique work, so
like, all right, so here's where in the story. Here's where we're really going to dig deep into that, and really, I'll explain more about this whole Kiss Ass organization they got going on here. So we go to it was 2012. We go to the Vegas residency, which is probably like.
Wait. Before we get there, we met Betta before then. In Chicago.
Oh yeah, we did, dude. Yeah, we did.
That was the first. I think we should talk about the first time we met Betta, also.
Yeah. So okay. So anyway, I died. I came back. Whatever. You know.
I died. I came back. What the fuck? As we all do.
Yeah, that's besides the point. You know, I mean, we're gonna
typical Tuesday.
We're gonna stay focused on this Team Brazil story here. So. After we get out of the hospital, this nice ass hotel that we didn't even get to sleep in, that looked like it was going to be comfortable as hell. So we go to what was the name of that hotel?
I don't know.
All right, so we see the red bus outside this hotel. We know that's Axel's bus. Which, little known fact, that was Justin Bieber's old bus. Axel got a hand-me-down. True story.
I think we've told this story before where we met DJ and Bumble and everybody there. But after they left to get on the plane, the bus was still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Betta comes out, and we're just like, we gotta go get a picture with this girl, man. So we were talking, and she says, yeah, Axel's in here, but he's not gonna be out for a while, you know. Just her way of telling us, don't waste your time, just get going, you know.
Yeah.
But
she was really nice, though.
Yeah, she was super nice. I mean, she was really nice. You know, we got cool pictures with her. She kind of hugged up on me real tight, you know, for that picture.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, but, you know, so that was my experience with dealing with her. You know, she was really nice, you know. I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say except for the way she responds to some people online and how she treats some of the fans online. But, you know, so like after that, you know, we're going to go to Vegas for Thanksgiving. You know, we went on Thanksgiving Day, I believe. So we're hanging out in Vegas. You know, they have this whole Guns N' Roses museum set up. You know, Axel's car and stuff. So,
which was awesome.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing. And then you got the November Rain suit. But,
yeah.
Oh, so we get to we're at this Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, and then boom, you see we run into Betta, man.
Mm-hmm.
And
like off the bat.
Yeah, so we're just like, all right, we're gonna get another picture here, you know. So,
like I think we're still dragging our luggage to the room at this point.
Yeah, so we get like this, you know, we get this picture with Betta, you know, we're all like, yeah, you know, like just being happy. And then like, so we go to the show that, the first show, which was, I think it was the 23rd of November. It was the anniversary of China being released.
Yeah.
Which was the first show. So before the show started, they had that big jumbo Tinitron thing, you know, where you could just text and put your pictures up there and have a message, you know. So we were there the day before, so we were taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're putting that picture of us and Betta up there, just throwing all kinds of just stupid pictures, you know, that were hilarious. Like, you hear the crowd chuckling, laughing at it.
When we're doing the Gundam style thing in the elevator.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, but I noticed that we had no Fernando was spotted at all, because he's usually out hanging out, in the front. But so we had after party passes for that show, and the first night we go backstage, and this is probably like the weirdest after party story that I think I have, because it was just so bizarre, because we get
It was
backstage,
surreal, kind of, in a way.
yeah, like it was very strange. Like first off, like I get fucking tackled by Chris Pittman.
Chris Pittman, man. Should we talk about that here, or?
I mean, while we're at, I don't know. Well, what it was is we're backstage, and we're trying to, we didn't want to bother Ron about getting all these to get more after party passes, because I felt like I asked this guy for way too much.
Yeah.
But like, so we were gonna try to ask Pittman, but I don't know. We didn't get around to something happened. He didn't.
No, I asked Pittman. And he just sent me a generic reply, basically a no without saying no. He just sent me a generic reply. Okay, I'll tell. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell it here. I thought Rick was fucking with me. I had gotten somehow I'd become friends on Facebook. Either, I don't remember if I sent him a request, he sent me a request. I probably sent him a friend request, but I don't recall. And it wasn't even Chris Pittman's main page. It was called Chris Pittman Page 2, because at the time you couldn't have but so many Facebook friends. So I was friends with Chris Pittman Page 2. And I was looking at this like, and I think, no, that's what it was, because Rick showed me the page to add in the first place. And in my head, I'm going, does this guy really think I'm going to fall for this? Like, I am not fucking Dwayne. So I go ahead and I add it. And I started the conversation, because we talked all the fucking time. Like, me and this cat was talking all the fucking time. And I was starting the conversation gradual, and then I was going to get into some freaky, weird shit, because I was like, I know the things that make Rick uncomfortable, so that was going to be the direction I was going to steer it into eventually. I was getting ready to take that sharp turn. So Rick got me to message this, and I was like, dude, well, I in my head, I knew Chris Pittman wasn't going to hook us up, because in my head, this is Rick fucking with me. I'm just not letting him know that I know. So I messaged Chris. I sent him what Rick told me to say, because at this point I'm humoring Rick. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let him know I know, because we ain't there yet. And he just replied with some generic thing, and I was like, well, he said no. So then we get to the party. Rick's over here talking to Bumble. I'm kind of standing behind because they're having a conversation. I don't want to interrupt. I'm not really talking to anybody, so I'm just, got my hand in my pockets, looking around the party, nodding to random people, and, just having small talk with other people. And then all of a sudden, Chris Pittman busts in the room, drunk as fuck, and he goes, Dustin! And he grabs me and gives me a big hug, and I was like, hey, you know who the fuck I am, okay. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he goes, and then he comes and he bends in like he feels bad, and he goes, look, man, I wanted to get you into this party, but all these folks here, a lot of them are my family, and I didn't have that many to give away, but it looks like it worked out well for you. You got in anyway. And and that was the first time I was like, oh shit, this is not Rick fucking with me. This is legitimately Chris Pittman.
Yeah, I was blindsided too, because I didn't realize all this was going on. And then,
the next thing he says to me is he gets to looking around and he goes, where's Rick? And I said, he's over there. And that's when he came and tackled you.
Yeah, this dude like straight up just comes rushing me, man. Like, I feel like I was being tackled, and he holds me against the wall, and he's like, Rick! And he's just sitting there like hugging me, and just like, and I was kind of like, can someone help me, please? This is getting I don't know what this dude's about to do to me, man. Like, I felt like Felt like I was about to get violated or some shit, man. But no, but it was all fun. He was just drunk. He was having a good
Yeah, he
time.
was just playing around. It was fun times. I have
So
nothing bad to say about Chris Pittman.
no, dude, Chris is the man, dude. But like, okay, so one little detail I forgot to mention before we went to this party. I caught Axel's whistle that night.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then I was trying to, and you guys, Dustin, like during Paradise City,
Oh God.
I always just dip the front. I was like, screw the front. I want to go in the middle, and I want to try to catch this damn microphone.
Yeah.
Well, that night, I was this close, but it was just like, I mean, I'm like 150 pounds, dude. 5'11".
I think you caught it and somebody jerked it out of your hand.
No, I had my hands like it was a bunch of us right there, and then like I remember touching it, and then it was just like this big brawl. I mean, I'm like, all right, I'm out, bro. I'm not about to get my butt kicked here for this, man. Like,
Yeah.
so anyway, fast forward, I get tackled by Pittman. We're talking to Ron backstage, and then you see this little short Brazilian happy dude. I mean, really
drunk as fuck, I might add.
dude. That was Fernando, okay, and so
Fernando was drunk as fuck though. Like you could tell, he could barely stand up.
And so I'm starting to realize here, man, like these motherfuckers love to hug, man. They love to just put their hands on you because Fernando came and hugged me too, man. I'm like, what's up, bro? And he was telling us about like how he had the night off. The Axel gave him the night off, so he's just kind of getting drunk, having fun. And he said he goes back to work for the last show, which was going to be the 24th, which is the next night.
Yeah.
And he saw that I had the whistle, and he was like, you can tell he was genuinely excited for me. And I told him that I almost had the microphone, but it was just a fight. So, dude, I swear to God, this is a true story right here. Fernando looks at me. He says, you want that microphone? And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. He says, it's yours. I'm like, are you kidding me? He says, tomorrow I'll give it to you. Now,
now I was there for that. I did hear that conversation. Now, he was drunk as fuck.
Yeah, this dude could barely stand. He was just having a good time. And I'm like, okay, chances are he's not going to remember this. So here's my promised microphone that I'll probably never get. But,
yeah,
I was just grateful for what was going on. I was having a good time now. So, so the next night, we're just, the next day I did my thing. I went in there on the stage with Bumble and all that stuff. And then when I left that, we're all hanging out in the lobby where all the fans are, they had the merchandise. And then I look from a distance and I see Fernando, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to walk up to this dude and see if he remembers what he told me. And then so
I remember that because you didn't say, hey, man, you told me you would give me a microphone. You said, hey, man, you feeling all right? And I was like, yeah, we had a party. He's like, it was a bit of a party last night, wasn't it? And then Rick's like, yeah, you said something to me. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah.
Like, you were polite about it.
Yeah, I was like, again, dude, like I asked, like, that's kind of why I feel bad, man, that we had this kind of feud going on because Fernando is really like, I don't know, man, he really hooked me up a lot, dude. And I hate saying bad things about the guy. And I hate the way things turned out. But, I mean, the dude legitimately hooked me up, dude, with the microphone, dude. Like,
this is why I say I would consider him almost a friend. Because the reason he was out there that second night is because one of us, probably you, texted him and was like, hey, man, we're standing in line. You want to come hang with us? And then he just walks up and hangs with us. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll be there in a minute. And that's how he got out there. And
we were like, I mean, I remember him telling me, like, he's going to give me the microphone after the show. I told him that we had after party passes for that night, too. Ron hooked us up with both nights. So he said, yeah, well, come see me after the show, and I'll get you taken care of. And I'm like, okay. So we go to the after party. We're all hanging out. I don't see no Fernando anywhere. And I'm like, yep, here's where it's going to happen. I'm not going to get it. And my flight leaves in about a couple hours. So we got to go to the airport soon. And then, so like everybody's leaving the backstage area. And I'm just standing back there. And I'm like, I'm waiting on Fernando. I already talked to the band and all that yesterday. So he's a moment. He goes backstage to talk. He goes to another room and talks to Fernando. And Fernando tells him to wait outside the main entrance in about 30 minutes, and I will be out there.
At the joint.
Yeah, at the joint. So I'm like, okay. So, I mean, we're like, I mean, it's minutes before we have to go and get to the airport. And then Fernando, and I guess it was his, just that the other Brazilian chick that was always with him. I guess it might have been his wife or something. Or his
Vanessa?
no, that's his sister.
Oh.
This is not one of those kind of stories, you sicko. No, but yeah, so they both, I know she was a tall chick, but so Fernando comes out, he has his bag, and he opens it up, and he pulls out a microphone, a sign. I mean, it has signatures all over it, and I was just like, oh my God, bro, this is unreal, man. I got his whistle the night before, now I've got the microphone, dude. I've got that's what I'm talking about. It's all about how much ass you kiss, you know what I mean, or sucking up you do, with this, because, I mean, look, I got Axel's pick. I got his microphone now. I've gotten passes, so, I mean, things were pretty cool, I mean, we ended that trip on a high note, but now, after that, I'm really thinking, I need to up the stakes a little bit, everybody talks so much shit about Team Brazil online, or the GNR fan base. Everybody hates them, but
yeah.
I have seen zero reason to hate these people yet because they have been so generous to me, So
yeah, and friendly. I mean,
yeah, real friendly.
They didn't give me shit, and I just enjoyed talking to them.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just kind of like I'm real pushy in a kind of a nice way, you know what I mean? Like I'm just real persistent, about trying to get what I want, and I knew that at that point that I really wanted to get. I had the microphone, I had the whistle. I really wanted to get the signature on the arm. That's what I needed next. So 2013 comes, and they're doing this up close and personal tour, or whatever the book was called. Well, first they did that San Antonio show festival.
Yeah, that's where you wore the shirt the first time.
Yeah, so I made this shirt. All right, and like I said, this shirt's sole purpose was because I wanted to meet Axel to get that signature. That's what this, and and I was tired of all the hate that this team was getting. So kind of like maybe they see some fans starting to support them a little bit. So I wore this shirt at the River City Rock Fest in San Antonio, and Beta comes out.
Well, tell them what the shirt said.
All right, so it says it had a big Brazilian flag on it. And it says, "I believe in." Just the letter N. And at the bottom it said Team Brazil. It's just a simple shirt that I made. It's nothing special, but it definitely landed this punch, though.
Yeah.
So I wore this shirt, and Beta comes out, and she notices me wearing this shirt. So I had an extra one made, and I handed it to her, and then she's sitting there holding it up in front of Axel, and then doing this to him the whole time, dancing. And
I remember that.
So I remember she took it back. She kept the shirt. And then after the show was over, I remember Fernando coming out. And there was like about 5 or 6 people that went to all the Texas shows because they did like a full Texas run right before that San Antonio show, like smaller venues.
Yeah.
And, it's the same people that go to all these shows, that like, I guess have all the money in the world that can afford these tickets to every single show and fly to every show,
Yeah.
I have a job. I can't do that shit. But
yeah, my daddy didn't get in the oil business.
I wasn't born with the silver spoon in my mouth, so I have to earn what I get. But so I saw Fernandez out there just talking to these people, being real friendly, and he's taking them backstage somewhere. And then I'm thinking like, okay, I've got to figure out how to get like that. Like maybe I'm not kissing enough ass. Maybe that's what it is. So a week later, we went to Kansas City at the
Midway by AMC, I believe.
Yeah, it was a small venue. I mean, super small. But,
beautiful venue though.
Oh, I love it. So we're out there hanging out, and then there's this. I remember there was this lady and her husband. She was they're out there talking about, we've been talking to Axel on Facebook. And I'm like, bro,
yeah,
really?
Right.
Come on. No,
I'll call him Bill.
They're like, no, I swear, look, here's the messages. I'm like, okay, yeah, so you're talking to Axel on Facebook. All right. They're like, how do you know we're not talking to him? Just trying to defend themselves. I'm like, okay, first of all, this is a picture from the 80s. Why would Axl Rose have a profile like this, man? Like, why would he why would he waste his time talking to some hick? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, come on now, dude. It's Axl Rose, bro. I mean, like, have some common sense, bro. This is.
Yeah, and then they acted surprised when he got off the bus at what he looks like now.
Yeah, so like the bus pulls up, and what was great about this venue was the bus had to pull on the side, so it wasn't no gated backstage area. So I saw the Bieber bus pull up. It's the same red bus. I always called it the Bieber bus ever since I heard this story. And then I'm looking and I'm like, oh shit, man, he has to walk right. I mean, I'm just like chill right here. So,
yeah, fuck it.
So Axel gets off the bus and he just jets right in, you know. And then those people that said they were talking to him online, they're like, "Is that Axel? Oh my god, he was awful." And I can't believe he didn't. And they were so offended that he didn't stop and recognize him or talk. And I'm like, fucking idiot. My God, man. That's not Axel you're talking to. You're being catfished. Come on, man. Really? There's no way you believe this mess. There's no way.
It makes me think of Dr. Phil, the lady that was in a relationship with Bret Michaels from Poison, and he was always asking her to send him money. Like, these motherfuckers are rich, dude.
Dude, it was hilarious. So, like, after Axel gets off the bus, hold on one second.
Let him chug his Pepsi.
A 2-liter, but so.
Like a man.
So Fernando gets off the bus, and I'm like, okay, this motherfucker's gonna know who I am. I go to him, and he comes up, like, before I even say anything, the dude hugs me already, all right? Yes, we have shared plenty of hugs in the past. At this point, you know, like, I'm just like, all right, I asked this dude for so much already, but I'm just going to do it again. I'm just going to ask him for this signature. So I told him, I'm like, bro, look, this is like my 20th something time seeing you guys, and I drove overnight, and I hate asking you for this shit over and over again, but here's the last thing I'll ever ask you for, bro. Can I just get Axel to sign my arm? That's all I want. And then, you know, he kind of looked at me, he smiled, he said, it's going to happen tonight. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And he was like,
well, first he said, I don't think I want to do it now because I like it when you bother me.
Yeah, he said something like that, you know, like, and then, because he made a comment, something like that, you know, like, he was super nice, man. Oh my God. I forgot how nice he was.
Like I said, we were very friendly with Fernando. And that's part of what disappoints me in part 2 of the story. So,
like, we go into the show. I remember Gio, what was his name? Gio Gillespie or whatever. I don't know, the big man that had me kicked off the property in Wichita.
Yeah.
But I'll call him Gio the Biatch. So Gio comes up. First Fernando walks up with Gio, and during the middle of the show, and he points at me, and Gio puts this purple GNR wristband on me. And then he made some kind of comment. I don't know what you did to get this one, and making a laugh about it or whatever, you know, because mostly, you know, you see like the hotter chicks with this wristband on, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess like I don't know. I guess I was like one of the only dudes to get that pass that night or whatever. But so you know, afterwards, I was talking to Fernando, and I remember Vanessa was hanging out with him, and we're sitting outside Axel's room, and he was taking a shower, and at that point, I was trying to take you back there with me. Gio was being very weird, only would take me. So I asked Fernando, I'm like, can I just go outside and wait? And then, because I don't want to be, first off, it's going to be kind of weird sitting outside of his room while he's taking a shower. And I'm like, that seems kind of like, I don't know. I just felt kind of uncomfortable doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I told him, I said, if I just go wait outside by the bus, well, I definitely get to meet him, you know. Fernando's like, I'll make sure of it. I promise you. And I'm like, and at this point, homie's always kept his word, you know. His word was legit. So then if you can probably insert video clip here, but or whatever. But like, if you look on YouTube, me meeting him, Fernando, right when they walk out, Fernando comes and he pulls me behind Axel. You know, and then you can watch the video. He signs my arm, and then I get the picture made. And I remember Axel was signing my arm, and then he was telling Fernando, "Hey,
Oh man, I've lost Rick. Well, let's see. I'm sure he'll be back any minute now. He probably just pushed the wrong button. So let's see. What can I tell to fill in the gaps here while we're waiting on Rick without giving too much away? So we were in line, and I'll tell you about the video that he's talking about. We're in line, and somebody was recording it. And I remember in the video, there's some hot chick with a really nice rack getting her boobs signed, and so she jumps up and down, and they jiggle a little bit. And then the video goes over to Rick, which Fernando just kind of pulled him aside and was waiting for Axel to go by the bus. Now, Axel at the time, for some reason, he still may do it, but he was carrying around a cane, and I don't know why. I guess just to fuck with people or something. Because I know the news said something about Axel was walking with the aid of a cane, and if you were there and you saw what happened, that was not true at all. He was just holding the damn thing and walking around. I did think it was funny that he was like wearing pajama pants. That's it. Okay, Rick's back now, so he can pick up the story. I was just giving some filler information on the story while you were gone.
Okay, so where was I at with it?
Axel is signing your arm. What did he say to you?
Yeah, so he's told Fernando, he said, hey, you got to get a picture of this, because the day that Chinese was released in 2008, to commemorate the release of the album, I went and got this Chinese democracy themed tattoo. And, because the album was I followed the album for so long, and it was the album I waited for so long. So anyway, Axel tells Fernando that, and then we all, that was kind of it. And then I remember I posted it on, it might have been Instagram or somewhere, and then I know Fernando put a like on it, and which is awesome, So I didn't see Fernando again until 2013. We went to the Atlanta show? The Tabernacle in Atlanta? Was that in 2012?
Tabernacle, I think, was in 2012. I think that happened well before this, didn't it?
Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think. When was the next time we saw him again after this? Because
I think that was the last time I saw him.
Yeah, because I don't think that we saw him anymore. I think that after that,
Vegas, maybe?
We went to the Vegas. I know we saw Bed at one point at that Vegas, but at that point, I think that might have been my last dealings with Fernando in person. Now, fast forward to about 2017. Okay, I had tickets. Well, I didn't have tickets yet to go see. Yeah, I did. I had cheap seats for Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. And they had and the way these shows have been working out, they would release pit tickets the day of because they sold out so quickly that they would hold pit tickets back and then release them the day of. So that's what I was waiting on, and they finally did. But the venue was charging over $500 for a pit ticket.
Fuck that.
And there's no way I was going to pay that. So I get on Facebook Messenger, and I send Fernando, not Facebook Messenger, but Instagram, okay? Because for some reason, we always talked on Instagram. So I told him, I'm like, bro, look, I've always had pit tickets to see GNR, but this venue is charging over $500 for a pit ticket. And, I don't know why they're gouging the prices up so high. And so he said, how many people are with you? And I told him it was just me and one other person. And he asked me where my seat was and blah, blah, blah. So, and then he gave me Yarmo's email. I guess that's how you say his name.
Yarmo, yeah. I was the one that uncovered that mystery because everybody kept calling him Jarmo.
Yeah, that's what I said, Jarmo. Like Yarmo is. So, yeah.
So finally I asked him because I was like, that don't seem right. So I went to at the time I went to Jarmo, and I was like, man, can I ask you something? Is Jarmo how you say that? And he goes, no, it's Yarmo. He says, but I don't care. Everybody calls me Jarmo. I said, I will call you Yarmo from now on since that's your name. So
Yeah, so like Fernando put me in contact with him. He had like Yarmo at gunsandroses.com email, or it might have been Yarmo at Team Brazil. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
It's pretty legit. It's a pretty legit email. Uh, so I told him, hey, Fernando put me in, told me to email you about this ticket or whatnot. He says, yeah, let me know right when you get to your seat. So I get inside, I get to my seat, and then he comes out, and I see him looking for me, and then I kind of wave at him. So he walks with me to the front. We had to get some kind of ticket scan, complimentary ticket scan, and then he escorts me right up there into the pit, and
Nice.
I make it right in there. So up to this point, what I mean, like Fernando's hooked me up with countless guitar picks. He's backstage passes, Axel's microphone, the signature, and the picture. So now
and not to mention all the times he's come out and just hung out with us when we asked him to.
Yeah, and then he even got me this free pit upgrade. Which now that would be the last time I would see Guns. Would be that 2017 show. But so this was all. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. So
this right here, I would say, like everybody laughs about the I believe in Team Brazil shirt, but really, like there's a motive behind everything I've done. You know what I mean? Like, and that was to it's kiss enough ass to get what you want, pretty much.
Is the I Believe in Team Brazil shirt available on the Rick Dunsford T-shirt store yet?
No, dude, it was on there from when I made it years ago, and I was like, I just deleted it. But
think we could re-release that for a limited time?
If it don't get us in trouble, man, like
what are they gonna do? Well, we're getting to that one. For those of you watching the video version, that'll be a part 3 story. This is a 3-part story. It really is. And we're not doing it to milk this story. It's just we'll be here. We'll make a 6-hour podcast if we try to tell the whole fucking thing. So we're going to tell it in 3 separate, distinct parts. And I think we're done with part 1 now. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. Just to accomplish the relationship between me and Fernando before the Stores Locker, even before the House of Blues drama. Trying to get perspective, where we were at this point, you know what I mean, and what kind of relationship I did have with some of these people. Now, the next story we're going to start digging into the black market of GNR, but. Yeah. I do want to say though that with this Team Brazil though, like this is a team that that's not supported by the fan base really at all. In fact, you're gonna find more people that hate on them than really say anything good about them. So that's probably gonna be some of the nicest things you've ever heard say about these individuals right here.
Yeah, and, I mean, at this point, I mean, we're not here to shit on anybody. We're gonna tell a story how it happened.
Exactly.
I mean, we're being fair here, and so far there ain't nothing bad to tell in this part of the story. You've met Fernando. You guys are friends, man. Like you guys, guys, like when I'd hang out with Rick, there were times where he would just text Fernando out of the blue, and they would fucking communicate that way. Like it wasn't just always asking for something. There was kind of a camaraderie here. Like he was an enjoyable cat to talk to.
Yeah, man, and what was it? Hold on, and I forgot to add this at the Tabernacle show in Atlanta. You remember how fucked up it was? Because that show started so late, and we were standing outside waiting to meet Axel. So, and then Fernando comes out, and he was like, "Hey guys, he's not doing any signings tonight, but he gave us some gifts. You remember that? He gave us those Team Brazil guitar picks."
Yeah. Do you remember the night you met Axel? The chick that tried to seduce you to get your spot by the gate and said, and then, and you told her, oh, what was it you said? What did you say? Because at first you were like listening to her talk. She was kind of flirting with you and shit. And then you said something like, Look, lady, it's going to take a lot more than that. Like, you are not nearly hot enough to get me out of this fucking spot in line.
Yeah, dude. I'm kind of a, hey, you know what? Like, I have what I want at home. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to jeopardize what,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
like, and you know, like, I'm not going to let some bimbo or some slut, you know, come in and try to like, hey, can I just like, it's like being at a like every Guns N' Roses concert, dude. Like, whenever I'm in the front against the rail, I'll feel this, and then you turn behind me, and it's like a little short girl, like with these big breasts, and she's like, "Hey, can I just get up there for one song, please, please?" Fuck off.
No.
Yeah,
No, you can't.
gladly fuck off. I've been out here since 6 in the morning, so
I forget. It was so funny though. What was it she said? But because at first Rick was like listening to her, like, yeah, okay, and then he's like, and then he goes, he said something to the account of, "You're not nearly." It's going to take a lot more than that to get me out of this fucking spot. And then she turned to me, and I was like, "Don't look at me, bitch." I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." I said, and I kind of like looked at it like I was flirting with her. I was like, "Since you're so hot, I'm going to make you a deal. You can get right here behind me." And then I kind of like shoved her behind me and said, "And you can watch from there."
yeah, dude. Hey,
I just wanted to tell us things. I just remembered that because like she was trying. It was like you were barking up the wrong tree, man. She goes, "You're an asshole," and I said, "Yes, that's the way of it. Yes."
And see, but when you think about this too, man, like the reason why I made that Team Brazil shirt too, man, is because like, first was Kansas City in 2011. We waited in the snow, man, waiting for Axel to come out
In the fucking snow, yes.
Speaking of dog walker, I think at this time, I think Fernando got a promotion at this time because I think it was his sister that was walking Axel's dog at this time. Because we're the only two people outside, man. And then
That's middle management with Guns N' Roses who gets to walk the dog.
yeah, so you see Vanessa coming out walking this dog, and you're like, okay, any chance that Axel can just come? Can Axel walk his own dog so we get a picture with him? You know, like. And then you see him from a distance get on the bus. He kind of waves and drives off. And you're like, all right. And then we try countless times, dude, over and over again to meet this dude. Like we waited outside in Atlanta. We waited outside in Chicago. At the hotel, San Antonio, dude. And it's just like every time, man, it's like he's not signing tonight or he's gonna be in there for hours, you know. So that's where my mind started wandering. You know, like how can I get to meet this dude? And then I know that these other people that go to all the shows, they buy Team Brazil these like gift cards, like Starbucks gift cards. They buy them whatever, you know. Like
these motherfuckers are rich.
I'm talking about like taking ass kissing to a new level, dude.
I'm not going to buy you a gift card when you're worth like $1 million. Fuck that, no.
Yeah, so I'm going to like make this shirt, you know. I want to cut the sleeves off so you can see my GNR tattoos, you know. So these mugs know that I'm legit, man. Like I'm as hardcore as they could possibly come. You know, let me just meet the boss. You know, let me just get the signal. And that was but hey, you know, I was like, it worked, man. Everything it worked perfectly. You know, like and that's why I can't like you know, I've probably got I don't know, man, like. Once the story goes on, when we get to the other episodes, everybody's opinion is probably going to change a good bit about. I don't know about Beta because my dealings with her, I didn't really have a whole lot of dealings with her.
Well, we're gonna talk about all of that in a future episode. Yeah, later on. Next week we're gonna be covering the House of Blues situation.
This is we're going to dig into the black market,
yes,
of Guns N' Roses. So. You know, like
a lot of people aren't going to know what we're talking about though when we say the black market. So let me get us set up, and we'll go into what's going on today. So this is part 2 of how Rick got banned. Like we said last week, you met Team Brazil. You kind of met everybody. At this point in the story, you know Rick's relationship with everybody that is that we're going to talk about in this show. There's a lot of people that are involved in the next couple of parts of the story that we're just not going to mention, and that's just the way of it. So we're going to talk about some people's actions. We'll talk about where they fall into the story. But there are people involved in this that we're not going to mention. We're not about bullying anybody. We're not about shit talking anybody in the fucking community and stirring up trouble. We're a couple of guys with a podcast trying to tell a good story. So, if that's what you're listening for today, you're going to be disappointed. However, if you're listening to hear the next chapter, which solely revolves around a show that was nearly a very important historical show with Guns N' Roses that was almost lost forever. And that would be the House of Blues 2001. So there we go. Good and set up now.
Yeah, what's so crazy about this House of Blues show, man, like, for some reason, this has always been an obsession of mine. I've always wanted to see this. It's been a show that's just, I remember ever since I saw Rock in Rio 2001, they had that little cartoon at the beginning. It's talking about, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
But this was like 2 weeks after New Year's. And I'm like, God, I really want to see this damn show, man. And I know at one point it was supposed to be released on DVD and whatnot, but I know that ended up not happening. And come to find out years later, after I obtained it, that it was never released because I did talk to people that worked with the band at the time. Was because of Slash and Duff, they blocked the release of this DVD.
Huh.
And then if you look back, like a lot of it was like the ongoing war between Axl, Slash, and Duff. They would block Axl and Slash, especially would block each other from releasing anything GNR related. Like Slash couldn't release live GNR recordings of and then every time Axl would try to release something, it's just they would always butt heads with it, But
yeah,
I guess I guess that's the reason why that wasn't released. But so this story right here takes us to we're gonna go all the way to St. Louis. GNR's return to St. Louis. And I originally did this. I originally told
you were you at that show?
Yes, I was. I went to. I went to that show. Because
St. Louis, Missouri, 2016.
Was it 16 or 17? I don't remember. It was
maybe 17.
Yeah, it was. They played the. What the hell is the name of that arena? A stadium.
I don't know. I was there though.
Are you serious?
Yes, I was at that show.
Did you get a poster?
I did not get a poster. I won my tickets off the radio, actually.
I actually won tickets to that show, too, from Sunflower. They had some kind of promotion on this where you buy flowers. I think it might have been for like Valentine's Day or whatever. But if you buy these Guns N' Roses flowers from this flower site, you'll get free tickets to a GNR show. It was at the Dome.
Yep. July 27th, 2017.
Yep. So it wasn't Valentine's Day. It was some kind of it might have been like a Mother's Day promotion. I don't know. It was some kind of fucking promotion that I won tickets, but they were like shitty tickets. I already had me a pit ticket, but yeah. So I went to this show, and
I can't believe you're at that show and we hadn't talked about that.
Dude,
I was there that night.
Dude, where were you at? Were you in the pit or were you?
I was in the back. I was in the nosebleeders for this one because I won my tickets off the radio. Anytime, I think my local radio station knows who I am and knows that I'm a big GNR fan because anytime there's a Guns N' Roses concert, tribute, Slash comes to town, something like that, and they're giving away tickets on the radio, I somehow always win. And I don't always win because I'm like caller number 7, caller number 10. I always win because actually I don't know, because if they don't know who I am, I don't think I want to give my secret away. But let's just say I have another way. I participate in their contest, but I don't call in and all that shit because, like, some things are just not worth the effort, and I just assume pay for the ticket than fuck with all that. But
here it is. Look, So it's a Valentine's Day gift from Guns N' Roses. Purchase a Not in This Lifetime flower set and and then you can get and you'll be gifted with a purchase of a pair of tickets to see Guns N' Roses. So I ordered
You know, if it was Mother's Day and your mom, we'll just call her Mama Rick. If it was Mother's Day, Mama Rick is the only mother I know that would be happy to get a bouquet of flowers with some '80s band's logo on it, and I don't think it matters. It could be Kiss. I know she likes Bon Jovi.
well, these flowers I ended up getting them for my wife, So like, cause
Oh, okay, for
I'm like, well,
Mrs. Dunsford.
yeah, well, so I'm like, well, I have to get her flowers anyway for Valentine's Day, and these are some pretty nice roses. So, I really want to go see Guns N' Roses, so it's like a win-win situation. So, so like I bought these damn Guns N' Roses flowers, and honestly, now I look back at it, this has got to be some Fernando shit right here because Guns N' Roses never released no damn flowers, man. What the fuck is this, man? I'm looking back at it now, dude. I'm like, oh, this is pretty fucking stupid, but I did get some tickets out of it. So
your wife had the limited edition flowers.
She got the limited edition, not in these lifetime flowers. Okay. So,
does she know that she got the limited edition, not in this lifetime flowers, or is she going to hear this podcast and be pissed off?
No, she knows.
Okay.
But they were nice flowers. And that's so now ever since I've got flowers from here, anytime I get my wife flowers, I always go through this website because at first I bought these flowers and I paid this ridiculous amount for them, and then they tell me, we're sorry, we already gave away all the free tickets. And I'm like, well, bull fuck his shit, because this promotion says if I buy these, I will get a pair of tickets. So I want my pair of tickets or I want my refund. I'm just sitting here fighting with them. Like, I've got this full Twitter conversation. And then like a week later, they called me and they're like, hey, we got you some tickets to St. Louis. I'm like, damn right you do. And then, when they sent them to me, I'm like, hell, I don't want these damn tickets. These are like the very last row. Like,
yeah, see, you know what? There was a few empty seats beside me. And I have a feeling that had you taken those tickets, you would have been sitting right by me and my ex-wife.
Well, and what's so funny, though, man, it's just like, I don't know. It just seems like was the show enjoyable from like being in the seat? Because I know every time we seen it, we were always in the front.
Okay, first off, I will say it's not the same by a long shot. When I go to Chicago, I'm not right up against the stage because being in the pit these days, man, standing there all day, it's just I'd rather get a little bit back and have a more physically enjoyable experience. But I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I was one of the few people, dude, like, to me, when I was there, I was so grateful to be going to that show, because at that time, I hadn't been married very long. When I first got married, my finances, I mean, I'm doing good now, but my finances went right down the shitter.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens.
And, dude, we were broke as fuck, and I hadn't been to a concert in about 2 years before that. I think the last one I went to was Motley Crue's farewell tour, and I got nosebleeders for that. And that was a lot of saving it took to get those shitty tickets. But I hadn't been, and I was so grateful to be there, and I was just so happy that, like, to me, dude, I was one of the few people, like, I almost fell off of down the ramp or the stairs like 3 or 4 times, because I was one of the few people still jumping up and down and singing and all the shit, just like I would have done in the front row.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt, in a way, it kind of felt like you were watching other people have a concert and not necessarily getting a concert. It's kind of like, I used to have a friend that lived next to the drive-in movie theater. And if you went on his roof, you could see the movie, and they were doing it by radio by then. So you could take like a radio and sit on the roof and turn to the station and then watch the movie for free. But it was so far away that the screen looked like maybe about that big. You could still tell what's going on, and it was still free, but then you could also see all the cars and all the people. So it kind of felt more like you were watching people watch a movie then
Oh
it
yeah.
felt like you were watching a movie. It was kind of like that. Like you could see all the people dancing and stuff that you normally don't see from the front row because you forget they're back there, so you just act crazy and shit. At least for me.
Yeah.
And so in a way, it felt like watching other people have a concert. But I was grateful for KCMQ, shout out, getting me those tickets. And I had a blast. Now, the second time I saw this lineup, I was less impressed and I was closer to the stage then. But by then, I had watched all the bootlegs on Facebook or whatever. I'd seen, which by the way, we talked about last week. You were the trendsetter for. Now everybody's doing it on Facebook. I'll tell you something we didn't talk about with your live streams. What it led to. We never finished that story. Because that's not the story we were telling. But I don't know when we talk about it again. But you doing those live streams actually got a reaction from the band. Do you remember what that was?
Oh, is it a tweet from them?
No, it was the pay-per-views.
Oh yeah, dude.
They never did live streams on the internet before.
Yeah, they did. I remember what they did a live stream from the Chicago show, the pay-per-view Chicago, 2012.
And they did a couple from the joint.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I think they did. They used to do. I forgot what the name of that website was. I remember I bought every one of them that they did.
Oh yeah, I was at your house every time.
Yeah, we're like, all right, it's gonna be a late night here, guys.
Except Chicago. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, we were there.
And you even bought Chicago, and we taped it and watched it later because there's a version. I don't know where you'd find the original version. The version you sent me has the front where we're waiting on Axel to come out, or we're waiting on the show to start. And they started the broadcast, and they were just showing the stage in like a graphic, but you could hear us, like the crowd and stuff. And we had a friend named Casey.
Yeah.
And he started tweeting us because we were talking and shit, and we didn't realize that the microphone for the pay-per-view was like right there by us. And Casey was like, "Guys, can you say something?" So, because I think I hear you guys talking. And we were like, "What?" And then that's what, so we started going, "Hey, Casey!" And he goes, "Oh shit, it is you guys." He's like, "Yeah, I heard you." And so,
yeah, I do remember that because, I do remember we were right there in the front, and all the equipment was right there, like right beside us, so you could definitely hear us. And I remember we were holding up our hands, our phones, and all this stuff, so you could really see where we were on it. But dude, that is true. Dude, that I don't know if that's the reason why they started doing it, but I know that I know.
It makes too much sense to me. Because Fernando knew because he brought you the batteries when your stream started to die.
Yeah.
And then he would get a lot of tweets and shit every time you would do it. And then all of a sudden, like the next week, like they put this together like that. Like,
they did that up close tour, and they were like, "What show do you guys want to see on pay-per-view?" I was like, "Fuck, it needs to be Chicago because that's what I'm going. That's what we're going to." So we're like, we voted Chicago, and Chicago won, and we're like, "Yes."
That's one good thing is that we have a pro shot of a show that we were at, and a show that if it wouldn't get the pay-per-view because of some asshole, we wouldn't have got to see the last 3 songs.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Some asshole had to go fucking die. Fuck up the whole night. The one time I had a Hilton.
I know, dude.
I'll never forget that it was a Hilton, man. And I remember because you did some lottery hotel website where you got to pay for it. Hotwire?
I use Hotwire every time, dude, because it's just like, where am I staying tonight? Oh, shit, the Hilton. All right, let's do this.
Because I was at your house and you go, "Dude, we got a Hilton." And I jumped up off the couch.
And we never got to enjoy it.
Fucking Bronson did.
He had that room to himself, dude. That was so damn funny. And we had that hospital. But yeah.
And then he said he came out looking for us after you collapsed and everything at the hospital. And then we get home and watch the pay-per-view, and you just see that motherfucker right there in our spots. He moved over to our spots. Oh, yeah.
That I want to go back and watch Chicago now, dude. I haven't watched that in a little bit. Daddy, I've got like a damn hard drive just full of every show that's known that's been recorded, dude. Like I've got like
Nice.
hundreds of damn shows. So, but yeah,
Getting back on track though.
So yeah, so I go to I'm at the St. Louis show. I'm out hanging out, and I'm actually waiting at the merch truck because going to see GNR is a very expensive hobby. So
yeah.
So like, I'm going to get me. I want to get me some lithographs, and I want to pay for my trip with these lithographs. And like, so I'm in line. I'll get me about 5 lithographs, and then. But anyway, I meet this one guy in this line, and so we're sitting there hanging out, and then he's playing me a re-recorded version of Oh My God. He's playing me Silkworms, the studio version of it, and then playing me the remix of This I Love. And it's my first time hearing these tracks, and I'm like, what the fuck? How'd you get these? And so anyway, I get this whole BS story from him, how he got them, which was not true. But anyway, but we kept in touch.
So this is the ones that we heard in Vegas, right? That snippets had leaked, to prove that they were real.
Yeah.
Years before this, in like 2013, 14.
Yeah, they were because they were sent to some. I guess the mods on my GNR or whatever, and then somehow or another they got leaked. But yeah, so me and this one cat kept in touch, and it wasn't really about trying to get the tracks or nothing. It's just being a GNR fan. We just talked GNR and just and I would.
But he played the tracks for you to let you listen to them.
Yeah, I heard them, and I'm like blown away by them, and I wanted them, and
especially that Oh My God.
Yeah, so I really started digging. I started really like digging deep, trying to find out more about these tracks, and trying to find out where they came from. And whenever I'm like really committed to trying to find something, like I'm usually pretty successful finding out more about it, But so a few months later, well, it might have been about a good bit later, it was probably about 5 or 6 months. He calls me up and says, because I talked about the House of Blues show a lot to this person. I talk about it to everyone that that I make friends with at these shows, because it's like my favorite. It's like the one show I really want to fucking see. And then he tells me, hey, I want to send you something, but don't share it. And I'm like, okay. And he sends me this clip of Riyadh and the Bedouins, and it's like a 15-second clip, pro shot, and I knew immediately that this was from the House of Blues because, it's just obviously 2001 Axl. Robin had a spaceman suit on. And then Rio, they didn't play Riyadh. They played it at the House of Blues. So, immediately I knew that was it.
It's an easy song to find, to pinpoint a location for its recording because it's been played so few times.
Yeah, I've never seen that song play live, actually. So I've seen most of Chinese play live, but that's the one song I've never seen play live. So we go so he sends me that clip, and it tells me that he's the guy trying to sell it to him wants, I believe what he said was $8,000, some stupid amount. It told me if I wanted to contribute to it, that I could pay for this amount, and then I would get it. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't know. People think it's crazy to spend thousands of dollars on just a fucking video, but I really wanted this damn video, and this is parts that like no one really knows about here. But so I ended up. I have a group of friends in the GNR community, very private, that was at this show, and I reached out. And I will not tell any names or anything about these people, but I reached out to them, and we all kind of raised money together, very privately, underground. We had a big group we all contributed to, and then we sent this individual my part for this file. Well,
Well,
So
before we continue, let's pause on that story because now you've paid for the House of Blues. You've contacted the person who had it, and you paid for what
and
they asked for.
that supposedly had it, Yeah, I paid
Yeah.
them.
Well, we're going to get back to that in just a minute, but first I want to talk a little bit about the House of Blues and why this, because for somebody out there that's listening that if you're listening to this, you're probably big in the GNR community, but for the 1% of people that's listening to this show that don't know, like, what's the big deal? It's just a fucking pro shot concert. I think we've already said this was the first time ever, right?
Yeah.
That this Guns N' Roses lineup with Buckethead and everybody played together. It was never released to the public, but one thing we haven't talked about is that the master tapes of the show were ordered to be destroyed.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were ordered to be destroyed. They were. So this is where the story is. The story gets so weird because this part of the story, that information comes after all the fucking drama. It's just the timeline of this shit is just so messed up, man. But yeah, so
well, it's real life. It's not, yeah,
yeah, it was, because I went into this thing very blind. Just the only thing I wanted was my only thing I wanted was just this video. That's all I wanted. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted this video, and that's the people that were involved on my end, my private group that I had contributing to this. I call them the HOB 20 because it was about 20 of us all together. And we made it. Also, well, because why spend thousands of dollars? Why should one person spend thousands of dollars? Where we could just get a group of people and we all just do maybe $200-$300 each, and then make it more affordable. And that's just the way I've always been with this stuff. You know what I mean? So we had this HOB 20 group. Like I said, I will not tell no one will know anything about these people, but we all sent the money over. We raised it, and I remember I was whenever I paid it, I was supposed to get it about a week later, because what happened was the guy who supposedly had this was there's going to be a guy from Japan that's supposed to be flying in that has this tape, because apparently this tape came from some merchandising warehouse in Japan that had the only promotional copy of this tape. It was their original VHS tape.
There was one. There was one tape in all of existence of this show that almost got destroyed as well. But had this one tape got eat by a VCR, been left in the car, put in storage, and then in a fucking damp attic and forgot about, placed next to a magnet or a computer. Yeah. Tape is so fragile. And this copy of this document of this concert, the only document that exists is in that one tape. That to me is the most mind-boggling part of the whole fucking story. That's why I really wanted to hammer that in. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it's only one, dude. It's only one left. Yeah, so it came from Japan. So the story that I got was the guy in Japan found it. So another cat in Australia helped this guy in Japan convert the tape over. So apparently the tape was stolen from, I'll guess maybe something like Amazon or something. Some kind of a business major business that just had it in storage. The tape got converted. The file was sold to someone in America. But at the time, it was the story that I was told was when I sent the money to this guy that I met, he was supposed to meet with someone was supposed to be flying in. He's supposed to bring him to his apartment. They're supposed to make the exchange, give him this money. and then he'll get the tape. Then he's gonna send me a copy of the tape. So I remember I was on my way to Atlanta, Georgia, to go see Sum 41, and I was keeping in touch with this guy, figuring out, like, when am I going to get this tape? Is the week's up right now. He already has the money, and it's just kind of like I kind of got this weird feeling that it was just I felt like there was some kind of screw job starting to happen, because I said,
how long had it been before you started getting suspicious?
A week. It was about a week.
Okay,
yeah.
So how much money did you send him? Was it $2,000?
It was like $2,500, somewhere 25. It was between $2,500 to $3,000. It was somewhere in that range. I have to go back and look at the archives, but it was it was a good bit, just for a video file. So he so every time I asked about it, he kept putting it off, like excuse after excuse after excuse, and so when I really started pushing hard on it to hold me over it at the time, he said, "Hey, I'll send you something to kind of hold you over for a little bit." So he would send me Silkworms and Oh My God, and This I Love remix. So I started getting all these tracks in that I didn't ask for, I didn't pay for. That all I wanted was the House of Blues. So I was pretty happy about it. I got the tracks, but all I wanted was the House of Blues.
But it wasn't what you paid for.
So, I kept waiting, and, at this point, another week went by, and then the guy just started ignoring me. Straight up started ignoring me, didn't respond to me. I would spoof text him with another, and then I would spoof text him with a different number, and then he would reply to that, and I'm like, okay, well, why the fuck is he not replying to my text now? So that's when I started realizing, hey, I'm being screwed right now. So, so what I did was, if I feel like I'm being screwed, dude, I'll take it to extreme levels, dude. I contacted PayPal. And,
before you go on, I got one more question.
Yeah, what's up?
You don't have to answer.
All right.
How much did you personally have in this?
Probably about.
I'm just curious. Like, how much did Rick put into the pool?
Yeah,
you don't have.
Dude.
500?
600 maybe, somewhere around that, dude. Like,
well, that makes it a little more reasonable, though.
Yeah, it's more reasonable, because no one in their right mind will spend like that. The amount that I was told at first, no one's gonna spend that amount on it, dude. Like,
right. I was just curious. You you obviously answered, but if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. I was just curious.
Yeah, so I contact PayPal and I explained to him, I bought. I pretty much told him, I bought this fucking Guns N' Roses video and I haven't gotten it yet, and I felt like I'm being ripped off here. So they put me in touch with the FBI cybercrime unit. Because, dude, I swear to you, man, it was like, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I have to contact these people about it.
You have to get the FBI involved when you're buying a show that's probably of questionable legality. Any fucking.
Yeah, it's the black market we're dealing with here, bro. So this is like a lot of shit that people don't even realize that goes on. It's like a very small group in the GNR community that never seeks this shit out. So anyway, I'm getting ready to file this report and all that. And I remember this the guy. I remember he mentioned his friend that that's also known to have a lot of these unreleased stuff, tracks and stuff like that. I guess we'll call him I don't know what to call him. Yeah, we'll call him Kingpin. Yeah, we'll call him Kingpin or something. So
from Spider-Man, at least he gets a cool bad guy. He's definitely the villain in this story. So in your mind, as you're listening to Rick tell the story, imagine. Oh, I got one. Don Vito from The Godfather, or
so I'm not here to bash people or.
I'm not bashing anybody, but it's the story.
I'm just kind of like,
it's what happened.
I want to just shoot it straight. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna certain people I won't give names for. I won't give them the exposure that they're so desperately seeking through any platform.
But we're not calling anybody out, though. Like, no. I don't think. So anyway, we'll just say Kingpin and be done with it.
Yeah. So I reached out to this one guy that I knew he was friends with. I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, do you know how to get in touch with
St. Louis guy?"
St. Louis guy. And he started questioning me. Why do you need to get in touch with him? And I told him that I sent him some money for something GNR related, and I have yet to receive it. So his curiosity really peaked right there. I could tell that he was involved with this somehow because of the questions he was asking and asking me to call him. So
Oh, so he wanted you to call him personally.
yeah. So I FaceTimed him, and
So you went to the boss.
yeah, I went to this kingpin cat, and it's my first time ever interacting with him or talking to him. Um, and I explained the whole situation that this St. Louis guy told me that he has the House of Blues. He sent me this clip, and so Kingpin goes on to tell me that he's the one that actually bought it. He's the one that has it, and that St. Louis dude has been trying to get it from him, but he refused to sell it to him. So then he goes to show me the video clip on his. We were FaceTiming. He goes on to show me this video clip, and then I remember I go grab my wife's phone, and I'm sitting there like videotaping it from the side, and I'm like, to prove, so I could so I go back and watch it, make sure.
But you got people too that are expecting this clip from you.
Yeah, and I'm looking like the asshole here because I haven't delivered this video here. But and here's the thing, like all these people are involved. I sent them every screenshot. I sent them every file that I got that was involved. I didn't have to send
fucking good. Like,
I just I sent them everything that I got. So anyway, go to find out, that the St. Louis guy never even had it. He doesn't even have it still. He's just sitting on my money. So what got Kingpin nervous was whenever I mentioned that I got the FBI cybercrime unit involved, and he started telling me, call them off, call up, just drop that, call it off. I'll get you the file. And but this person didn't know that I had all these other tracks that he sent me. So. So anyway, I get a package in the mail about a week later, the USB that contained the House of Blues, and I sent the file to this group that contributed, and everybody's happy. This is supposed to be the end of the story. Everything's good, So anyway, so
was it everything you dreamed of? Let's before we talk about how it all goes to hell. Rick's got his tape. And what did Mrs. Dunsford think about this situation?
Well, at first it wasn't real bad at first, like it was kind of like first, I thought I was getting ripped off, and then somehow or another it got saved, because I'll say this Kingpin did save the day, by sending the file, and he did get a lot of money for it, but. The story's about to get really fucking weird, and it's about to get really fucking confusing now because.
Come on, tell me what your wife said. Come on.
All right, well, she didn't really have a whole lot to say about it. She was kind of happy that I got this show because she knew how much I loved it, But she care less about Guns N' Roses, dude. She hates them, dude. Like, no lie, dude. She can't stand them because of this because of all this BS that this happened. But
now I get that, but like she didn't. Did she know how much money was involved?
Yeah, she knew that. She knew how much money was involved, but she knew that it wasn't like it wasn't solely me doing it all. So
okay,
so yeah, it was she knew a little bit of the story, and
the reason I ask is because any guy that's been married knows. You make a big purchase, you either got to clear it with the missus or you got to be able to doctor your books really well.
That's why I do it the way I do it, man. That's why you get like this group of contributors, that want to help, that want to cope, that don't want to publicly be involved, cause I'm pretty much like the face of it, where I just seek it out, I do all the legwork, I do everything to get it, and then I have these private contributors, that
also since she's not a fan, like it's kind of funny to me, like really, like her point of view of like, this is really what's going on right now, like seriously.
Yeah, I remember when I got it, I watched it like over and over. Like it was unreal. Like I had it converted and put it on my phone, so I I can just watch it like whenever, dude. Like it was my favorite. I was so happy to finally get it. So,
All right, I'll let you continue. That to me, I thought was going to be
well,
real funny.
so like after I got the file and everything, the St. Louis guy talked to me again and he's explaining that said that he didn't get the file and that I told him that I finally told him that I reached out to Kingpin or whatever, and because I felt like I was being ripped off by him, and that I told him that I did get the files, and that kind of find out, this Kingpin was pissed at this guy because of because he was trying to sell his video or whatever, and just trying to, I don't know, dude. It was kind of pissed off that he was trying to, I guess, feel like he was scamming him, or whatever. So,
Well, he was.
Yeah. So pretty much what happened was, the St. Louis dude sent him $4,000, which over half of it was came from me, and so Kingpin sent me the files, but says that he's not giving this other guy anything, because of everything that happened. So my thought was, well,
Fuck him.
I was well, I mean, dude, I kind of felt bad for the guy because I knew that he at least had 1,000 contributed into this, and that it was just kept, So what I told him, look, even after all the shitty stuff he did, ignoring me and all that, I still got some tracks from him, and stuff. So I told him, look, I'll send you.
You felt guilty.
Yeah. So I told him, look, I'll send you this file, which was the iPhone file that I put on my phone, which was like the 1.6 gigabyte version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, which I sent him that because the original file was like 10 gigabytes.
I was about to say that makes a lot of sense because when that video started to appear in other places, I was like, why is it such a big deal, the quality? How did that come about?
Yeah, I just made a version for my phone, dude, and then that's the version I sent to this St. Louis cat.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, so after that, like somehow or another, just the track started leaking, random stuff started leaking. I'm not sure I'm not sure where everything came from or how it started leaking. But before the leak started happening, I did contact Fernando, and I kind of gave him a heads up about it. And I told him, look, just going to give you I just want to tell you that the House of Blues 2001 show is probably going to be leaking here soon. That it's been sold. And before I would tell him anymore, I told him I want some reassurance that this is not going to backfire on me. Fernando sent me this message saying that never would I ever go after a real fan.
Keep that in mind later on in part 3.
Yeah, definitely keep that in mind. And I will send you over the screenshots of this conversation that me and Fernando had with this about the House of Blues. So, because my last thing I wanted to do was damage the band or hurt them in any way. But,
right.
So I gave him the heads up. I gave him all the information he could possibly. I gave him everything. I gave him everything on a silver plate. Told him where everything came from, how it happened, and here's the people involved. And boom, here you go. You have it right now, bro.
Minus the investors.
Yeah, minus the investors. I would never. Like I said, I'm not going. No, they're not even really a part of it. Really, just they're just silent. But so we get. I sent him that. Never heard back from him about it, and oh my God, this all up. Everything just started leaking, and I remember I got some crazy threats from these guys. I was on vacation in Gatlinburg. And I remember I was laying down, and then I get these messages talking about, you care about your kids, you answer the damn phone, whatever. I'm like, damn, is this a threat? Like, I
remember this happening, by the way.
And I was just kind of stunned that, these people are really, like, making threats like this, because I took it as a threat with the messages I got, Now it'll be you talk to the other parties involved, they're going to say that it was the story's a little different, I guess I took it the wrong way, but when I see, if you care about your kids, you answer the phone, and then whenever threats made to like physically harm me, because I got different kind of threats, like through all this
No,
shit.
motherfucker, fuck you. That's a threat.
Yeah. I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I wanted nothing more to do with a lot of these people. But so I did a podcast about it called, with Brando. And we went into depth talking about it. And, but so that got taken off the internet because of the problems it caused for him, and his work. Because I don't know what the deal is. Apparently the story was a lot of people were pissed off with the story getting out. It's such a public platform. But now this is why we're retelling the story. You know what I mean? Because it needs to be heard.
Well, the original podcast telling the story is no longer available. It's been removed. So
this is the way you're going to hear about the House of Blues now. But so like that's after this drama went real public, because the one way that I protect myself, I'm just, people want to make threats towards me, people want to attack me or try to screw me over or whatnot. Dude, I'll just put them on blast. I'll just throw it out there online and just let let people see what kind of shit I'm dealing with to get this shit.
Yeah.
It didn't paint these people in a good light, and these people were really pissed at me for going public with it. I gave zero fucks about it. Still don't care, I did what I felt like I needed to do, but
after people start like, there's a line, like, and fucking with somebody, threatening somebody's fucking children is the goddamn line. And if you don't see how that's the goddamn line, then I personally can't speak for Rick. I won't speak for Rick, but I personally have no use for somebody that doesn't understand that.
You'd think I would learn my lesson from this fucking crazy story, but I didn't.
Oh, it gets crazier.
So anyway, after this big drama story and all that happened, I get contacted on a fucking Skype message from someone in Australia, and they go on to tell me about the whole Amazon, I guess it was in Japan, or whatever store it was in Japan that had it. They went on to explain the whole situation about the tape, how it got converted, and that how Kingpin wasn't the one who originally purchased it. That I'm being scammed out of money here. That these people didn't really spend all this money on this stuff, but they're profiting off of it or whatnot. So I don't know who the original purchaser is. I believe it might be I believe it's a guy out of New York that that purchased.
I bet he's pissed off right now.
Yes, apparently he gave it to Kingpin. Kingpin then made $4,000 off of it through me and St. Louis guy or whatever. That's kind of what I think from what I've gathered. That's where the story led me,
Well, now Kingpin didn't make the money off of St. Louis guy. Like St. Louis guy, did he give the Kingpin the money? Because Kingpin kind of got fucked here too. At least I'll say this. At least Kingpin was trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, he was trying to hook you up and help you out. Like, he was backed up against a corner. Like, his hands were kind of tight. But at least, I said earlier in the episode he's the bad guy. But hearing the story now, he doesn't really seem like the bad guy in this story.
No, I
don't see how what he did here is wrong.
It got heated with us, whenever different threads or stuff like that. But it was kind of like a St. Louis cat. It was the one that was just really the one who caused all this drama to happen, But what's funny was the person who actually purchased this from the person who had it in Japan or whatever actually lived it was actually a lawyer in New York.
Oh.
And it's the same lawyer in New York that did purchase the original CDs of the Miller sessions, which we'll get
Okay, fuck it.
into on
He's
the
a
next
lawyer. I
episode.
don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, well, so anyway, he's like I guess he's like Kingpin's money guy, that will work out whatever amount is needed to get this stuff,
In the
and
wrestling business, we call that a money mark.
yeah, so apparently Kingpin got the file for free, I guess, and then made $4,000 from got $4,000 from the St. Louis guy. And he did send a screenshot of the PayPal transaction, and that's whenever he got that money. That's when he sent the USB to me. But so apparently, like, this person made $4,000 off of me, off of this whole deal, where they didn't really contribute anything to it, because they got it for free. And that's where. But anyway, the files end up leaking. Everyone's happy with it. Everyone's real happy that they got the files, but. I was dealing with the repercussions of these psychotic fans going after me or making threats towards me. It just brought, and I met a lot of weird characters in this whole thing, dude. That I didn't even know any of this shit existed in this community, dude. It was so fucking bizarre.
The people that are making threats to you, what do they hope to gain here? Are they hoping you'll leak it to the public?
No. They're trying to scare me from leaking it. They're trying to stop me from distributing it at all. Which but right when I got it, it was already distributed to 20 people already. So yeah. But at this point, I don't give up what people do with the file. All I wanted to see it. If I stressed for it not to be leaked, but the leaker was I believe. The House of Blues. I'm not sure who's the leaker. I'm not going to point fingers at anybody for leaking and all that. I've been accused of it, and that's fine. I guess it is partly my fault.
I was about to say, you're not denying your involvement or anything.
No, I'm definitely 100% involved in all this, man, and that's. I don't care, you know what I mean. If they want to come after me, they can. They didn't succeed the first time, so. Yeah. I'm talking about GNR here. So I felt like I did the right thing, and I did give GNR a heads up, and I gave them everything they needed to know about it to prevent it from happening, prevent leaks, all the leaks from happening. But again, they dropped the ball. They weren't able to prevent it, and everything leaked.
Why do you think they are so unresponsive to the situation before it got out of hand?
Well, I mean, dude, these guys are busy selling Guns N' Roses flowers. They're busy coming up with these toy trucks. I mean, they're busy, dude. They're making children's books, man. They don't have time to deal with unreleased shit. And you got to look at it from that standpoint, dude. You got to understand that.
We got a children's book to write here for an 80s band that sings songs about doing coke and fucking.
There's more important things here than the House of Blues 2001. There's more important things here than these Chinese outtakes or remixes. You know what I mean? Like, we got children's book to worry about, dude. We got toy trucks, dude. This is what the fans want. We don't have time to deal with this drama-fueled House of Blues BS that I delivered to them on a silver platter, man. They don't have time for that shit, dude. And
I love you for that.
I get it, man. I get it. Okay, it's the fans get it, dude. We all get it. All right, but
buy your toy trucks, everybody, and show them your appreciation for the band. Let them know Rick sent you.
Yeah, dear God, please let them know I sent you. And for the love of God, check out the children's book.
Did you buy that for your babies?
Fuck no, dude. It's about Fernando's kids, dude. That's all the book's about. It's his kids going on the road with the band, I guess. I don't know, dude. It's the whole concept of that fucking book is so damn stupid, man. Like,
I'll give you that. I won't argue that point. It is fun.
Like, all right, the toy trucks, like, I might buy that for my kid, to play with, but like, the book, man, come on, like, that is just ridiculous, man. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of a band doing. Is releasing a children's book, when. But
I'd understand if like Axl wrote the fucking book himself, and this was like some kind of side passion of his is writing children's books, and nobody knows that about him, and then he finally gets to fulfill his dream. That's one thing.
Yeah, but like
That ain't what happened though.
so like when but this whole House of Blues deal though, like this opened the door for like a much bigger shit this to come. And
Before let's rewind for a second, because I got a question I want to ask about the remix album and the Silkworms and things. How did that get out? Were you sending that to the people that gave you money to try to hold them off also?
yeah, I do actually. So so when I wasn't getting the House of Blues and I had all these tracks, dude, I straight up went like public with hey, I got some shit to trade, like because I've been like I felt like I've been screwed here. Well, I'm gonna like just
Somebody out there got the House of Blues?
yeah. Well, I'm just gonna start trading this shit, and that's where you meet this like that kind of put me down this rabbit hole, dude. That just like I met so many different characters here, and it's just, but it also kind of got me like I said, it just it opened up the door for a lot more shit though, but but it exposed me for a lot of online abuse that I would definitely, and a lot of troll jobs I would get later on. But like whenever I went public about wanting to trade these tracks, I remember I got threatened with GNR lawyers not going to be happy about this from the St. Louis guy. You can't be telling people you have this. And then Kingpin, when he found out I had it, everybody's just really freaking out and pissed about it. And I'm like, what is the big deal here? You don't own these tracks. This is the band's track. Why are these civilians like freaking out about it that don't work for this band? Why are they so like concerned about it? Like you do you, I do me. You know what I mean? Like just
well, we know now.
So but what it boils down to is like this is a lot of people are making this is their bread and butter right here. This is the fans are a lot of fans apparently spend hundreds of dollars on these tracks. And then if they're leaked to the public, there's no way to make money off these tracks anymore, So I guess that's what happened. But like I kept getting threatened like GNR lawyers are gonna come after me. I never heard once from a GNR lawyer with this House of Blues stuff or these remixes or anything like that. And I'm like, shit, they want to come after me, please come after me. Because I got a hell of a story to tell them, Yeah. And fucking GNR already knew about this story. Well, Fernando already knew about the story. He knew about every detail of the story. And he didn't act on it. So as far as I'm concerned, it was just I did what I had to do to help. I did what I did to help the band, and they didn't accept the help, and then the leaks happened. When they could have prevented the House of Blues from leaking, they could have prevented these other tracks from leaking, but they didn't act on it.
Did.
Yeah, Fernando was just too busy with other shit, I guess. But well,
with that, I think that's pretty much the story. Is there anything that happened afterwards that we hadn't got to yet? I mean the tracks leaked. They made their way to the internet.
The tracks leaked, and it was like a.
Did Fernando say anything to you about the leaks happening?
Actually, let me check. I got it. Let's see here. I've got a. Let me look at my messages from him because I remember I know that we did discuss this.
What I'm trying to get at is he knows that you obviously tried to warn him, and did he ever respond at all to your initial warning prior to the leaks?
All right, so anyway, I sent him information about the House of Blues. Told him that it was $8K that it was being sold for. I told him about the meeting that's supposed to go down where the money's supposed to be exchanged and the files are supposed to be exchanged. So Fernando responds with what's his name and contact. And I don't mean to keep anything from the public. I just solely drive to keep making shit available for everyone. And leaking a 2001 show will only hurt everyone. We progressed, is his exact response to me. So I go on to tell him the identity of the people I'm dealing with. And then I go on to tell him what other stuff is being offered to be sold to me at the time. And he says, well, I need to get some people involved again, only for the control and continue momentum forward. If I need to deal with leaks and such as well as everything else, doesn't make much sense to continue to work while some fans continue to make it harder to move forward.
How long did he have from the time that you warned him to the time the stuff started popping up on the internet?
Oh, dude, he had like a month.
Okay, so he had time to take action.
Oh yeah, and then I did go on and I told him I went on to tell him the details of everything. And like I said, I'm gonna send you the screenshot of these tags. Um, Giving attention to people that only look to hurt or damage the band is the issue we will always have. I don't really get it. But then he didn't really say anything else after that. Well, he said you can email me everything to Fernando@teambrazil.com. I sent him everybody's phone number. I sent him all the contact information and all the communications I had
So
with him.
you hooked him up with a method of like he could have, like, nobody had to get in trouble here. He could have negotiated with these people. Everybody could have got their money back if they had any money in it. They could, and this whole thing could have got shut down. Everybody would have got paid. And
his last response to me in regards to the House of Blues, though, as because I told him that, like I said, I told him that I did not want this to backfire on me. I didn't want any trouble with this, because all I am is a fan just trying to watch the shit, but. And then Fernando's exact message to me was, I would never, ever burn the real fans. However, there are some dark people in the world.
Fernando and Rick are still friends after all of this. And like Fernando said, he would never do anything to hurt somebody trying to help the band.
You'll never go after the real fans here. And so next week's episode is where it's going to get really, really fun and interesting.
That's right, because next week it happens. Rick gets banned as a GNR fan in, let's say, about 2003. A video surfaced of a 15-second clip that just simply said, all cautions made, every chance was given, no effort spared to save what we had. Checkmate. And it had the title Checkmate on it. And never again would anything else be found or heard of this song until now. So start out in 2003 with just that clip going, man, that sounds like an awesome song. I'd really love to hear that song. And then countless times over the decade, more than a decade, people claim to be releasing the full version or more of it or something like that, and that always turns out to be a hoax.
Yeah, well, I remember this song whenever it came out, we didn't even know the title of the song until
we were calling it Jackie Chan.
Yep. Checkmate.
Checkmate.
It was obviously those were not the titles for it, and I had no idea it was going to be called Hard School until probably about a couple of weeks before I bought the tracks.
And we never heard the chorus.
Yeah, never. So then I believe the chorus leaked almost immediately after these tracks were purchased. I don't know how they leaked, but they did.
Well, we're going to get into that, but first off, we're going to start with saying, we talked about the House of Blues debacle last week. It's, a year later now?
The House of Blues? Or
since the House of Blues debacle has gone on.
That was in 2018.
Okay, so this is literally a year later then, right?
The Village Sessions happened. It was a year ago in July. So it happened
in 2020. It happened in 2019.
2019, yeah, it's 2 years ago. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the House of Blues would have been right about 3 years.
Okay, so we're a year. We're fast forwarding our story now a year from where we left off last week.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so Rick, you're let's start the story now of the storage lockers leading up to your getting banned. You're going about your day. I don't know, mowing the yard, doing a little weed eating, whatever you do on a typical Tuesday, and you get a phone call out of the blue. Tell us about that phone call.
So, as a friend of mine, I met in 2016. His name was Jesse. He goes by his online persona as Fear the Juggalo. Um, he's a cool guy, man. And he knows a lot of stuff, man, like a whole lot. But so a mutual friend of ours reached out to me, asked if he could have my number, that he wanted to call and discuss something with me that he found. And I'm like, all right, yeah, absolutely. So he gives me a call and proceeds to tell me that there was a CD that appeared on eBay. It was "Welcome to the Jungle," "Knock on Heaven's Door," from the Village Sessions, and it stated it was with vocals. I believe the Heaven's Door was, and that it was in 2001. So I knew that we didn't have a lot. I knew there was a lot of recording going on during that time, but we just didn't have anything from that period. So I went on to proceed to get the information of the seller. I know I had Jesse contact him for me, and we're just trying to get him to talk. Which he was talking to us, telling us that he no longer has the tracks anymore, that they were sold, that he sold the CDs to someone in New York. Now, this is where the story gets kind of the story would have been, it was impossible to figure this out for a little bit, but I knew all the right parties involved in this, so that's what made it easier for me to figure out everybody playing in this. So
You basically had a link to all the people involved.
Yeah, somehow or another, because first off, Jesse contacted me. He was in touch with the original seller, and then he happened to know the buyer in New York. And then I had another GNR user contact me in regards to saying that they found someone that bought a bunch of music that came from Zutot's locker. So
let's talk about the locker. When did the storage locker go on sale? Do you know about roughly when that would have happened?
I would probably assume about a month or two before I got it. I got the CD, I got the tracks, but I'm not exactly 100% sure on that because the purchaser of the locker, I don't have any communications with him anymore. I know he did his own podcast, but I didn't really listen to it, so I don't know what all he discussed in it besides the shit fest he did on me. But
yeah, he didn't keep his he couldn't keep his story. He's since deleted it, but
I hate to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, it would just go to prove our point. Because, how when somebody's lying, they can't really keep their story straight. It's kind of like that. Like he contradicts himself a lot. But
yeah, but what's funny though? Like the guy, he refused to sell me this stuff at first for the longest, man, and I had to trick his ass to get him to agree to sell to me.
Well, let's talk. Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. So. So the first couple that came up on eBay, this is from the Appetite for Destruction re-recordings that we knew existed, right?
Well, when you listen to those tracks, at first I assumed that they were from the Appetite for re-recordings, but it sounds like it's just kind of like a rehearsal, maybe. I don't know. It's just, it wasn't there was no vocals on Welcome. And that was just strictly an instrumental, but "Knock on Heaven's Door," just I don't know, man. It was an acoustic version, but I'm not sure the story behind the reason why that was recorded or not. But so this user, this forum user reached out to me and was telling me about this about someone that bought the CDs in New York, and I knew that had to be the same guy that Robert was talking about, the eBay seller.
Okay.
Um, so I was able to get the information, all the information from the guy in New York who was an attorney, and I attempted to reach out to him multiple times over the course of a month. I kept messaging him, trying to, I offered him a ridiculous amount of money because I was wanting to. I would have rather purchase from him so he could have got his money back, at least some of
Yeah.
it, instead of the Robert just keep double dipping, making all this extra money off of the GNR. Uh, but the original purchaser in New York didn't want to talk to me, just ignored me. So it just seemed like all hope was lost with trying to get this stuff, and so I started to kind of play. I started playing Robert a little bit, and I contacted him and
So
told
you
him.
did do some shady shit.
I mean, like if it's to, I mean, I just told a little fib to Robert. I told him
Okay.
that because he didn't know that I knew who was the purchaser. He didn't know I knew anything about the New York guy, other than he just sold to someone in New York. That's all he knew. So
Yeah.
when I came up to him, I said, "Hey, the guy that you sold to," and I dropped his name to him. And then I told him, I said, "Well, yeah, he's trading the tracks to other people, or this stuff is being shared to others or being sold to others, like I don't know how everyone else is getting it, but it's being traded or sold." Well, that's what made Robert mad, and he started saying that, well, he promised me that he would not sell these or trade these, he made a promise to me, he gave me his word, and then I was, oh, bro, he just got it, someone else just got the tracks from him, so that's when Robert, like, all right, I'll sell them to you for X amount of money, just come this weekend, so
How much money was it?
it was 15,000.
$15,000 for some goddamn songs.
Hey, bro, it is what it is, man. I wanted to hear these. This is like the prime peak for me right here. 2001. I couldn't have asked for anything better right here. This is what I was wanting. But
Okay.
15,000 is a lot of money for just for one person to put in. So obviously I did. I had a group funding deal go on.
Same as last time, right? We talked about that also with the House of Blues, where you would get investors to kind of come along with you, and everybody would buy it together. And
Yep, and then see, you had other collectors and all that was gonna buy the original CDs from a guy in New York. I don't know, man. It's just like there's just so many people involved in this story, so it's just it gets kind of confusing trying to explain a little bit. But this getting this stuff was very time sensitive because I had Robert just finally agreed to sell. Now that I have we have agreed upon price, which is 15,000. I was working to get a bunch of parties involved, so we could come up with the money for this because it was like I only had a few days to get it.
how many days did you have?
I believe it's 2 to 3 days, maybe somewhere around that.
Okay.
Yeah, because Robert, we did once I had him agree to sell, we started texting, and then he started sending me all the pictures of the CDs, and that's when at this point, I didn't know what all was on this stuff. Like I knew Atlas was in there, but I didn't know how much more stuff. I didn't know how much more stuff we were going to get, and and then I spent a lot of time talking to Jesse during this, and he was telling me all about he told me that the Jackie Chan or Checkmate song was actually called Hard School, and he was telling me this before either of us even had this music, and
Oh wow.
and then I remember him telling me that there's a reason why a lot of this stuff wasn't released because it's awful, and then he started talking about this one track where he actually talking about being your Mac Daddy. Dude, I'm thinking like, all right, there's no way that this could be real. Like, why would actually have a track about who's your Mac Daddy?
Yeah, this sounds made up.
But the thing is, the person who was telling me this was Jesse, and I knew that it had to be real. So, even before I purchased this stuff, man, I remember there was a topic on one of the GNR sites that were it was talking about the worst, what's the worst GNR lyric or something like that. And I remember commenting on it. I know you think you're bad, but who's your Mac Daddy or something along those lines. And this, I still didn't even know what the name of the song was, but I just went with what he told me. And then once I finally got the music, I found that track and I'm like, dude, he wasn't kidding. This is a real song here, like I own you. But so
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
yeah, let's go back. Like once we agreed, I was going to go out there on a Saturday to meet up with Robert. And it took about 14 hours to get there, but so I had all the money raised out, all the people involved that was contributing, and so I drove up to Virginia, and we met at a Pandora Bread.
Okay.
Yeah,
when did you contact Fernando? Because I know that you contacted Fernando and you told him, like, hey, man, this thing is going down. You might want to get off your ass and.
A lot of my communication with Fernando, we talked a lot through email and through Instagram. But like a year prior, I did warn him about the House of Blues. He chose not to act on it, and we saw what happened with that. So 10 days prior
to purchasing, surely he's going to act this time.
Yeah, so 10 days prior to purchasing this, keep in mind, I couldn't get anyone to agree to sell. And I know that there was other collectors trying to get this material just hoard or whatnot, so I knew that this was the only chance that we're going to have to get this. And then when all hope seemed lost, I just, I kind of messaged Fernando and let him know that I gave him everything he needed to know about the situation, everything he could possibly need. And I believe I sent you the screenshot of that too, but it was just explaining.
And he replied to it though, like he
didn't. He didn't reply to that one. He chose to ignore that one. He replied to the House of Blues, but he didn't reply to this.
Oh, and, okay. That's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah. So anyway, so he was contacted, and I did inform him all parties and everything. Again, he didn't reply or act on it. And once I got Robert to agree to sell, everything was kind of done. All the wheels were set in motion. I made my way to Virginia, and I did meet with Robert to find this stuff. Now, after this, my sister lives in Virginia, so I just went immediately to her place, just kind of hang out, rest, because I was going on no sleep. And then the next morning when I woke up, I got a message from my wife that Fernando emailed her, trying to get in touch with me. So at this point, I'm really confused. Like, how in the hell does he have my wife's email? Why couldn't he have just reached out to me? Like, how did she get brought into this? Like, what's going on here? Like, so I woke up.
How did he have your wife's fucking email?
Dude, I woke up, dude. I was like so confused about what was going on. I'm like, all right, so let me just figure this out. But what it was,
I don't even have your wife's fucking email.
Well, when I stated earlier that we had contributors and all that, I've always just used my wife's PayPal, her PayPal, and so it was someone who was part of it that kind of told him that this is where the tracks were coming from. Because when I got the stuff, I immediately shared a cell phone video. Whatever that contributed. It's like a 1 minute cell phone video of Atlas. I still got the original files, but and there's someone I sent the video to took the audio out of it, and then that's how we got the first 1 minute leak of Atlas. The hard school.
Okay, so that was the first fuck up then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't bother me either way. You know what I mean? Like, I could care less if it leaked or not.
Yeah, but kind of had you not done that, do you think things would have escalated as quickly as they did?
Well, there could have been a lot of things done differently, a whole lot of things done differently. But, if Atlas and Hard School didn't leak, it'll probably be a different story right now. But it is what it is. But
I'm just curious of that.
Yeah, so, well, hard school, I took that and I just I made like a I don't know, like a 20-second clip, and it was just a course. And then I sent that to everybody that was part of this group as well. And then again, that song leaked within that clip ended up leaking within minutes. So that's why Fernando reached out, because he's trying to figure out where these leaks are coming from. And at this time, I guess he's just learning about Zutot's Locker and this attorney in New York that purchased the CDs, and then he's just learning about Robert Byrd, who's selling copies of this. Because what I bought, I didn't buy the original stuff at all. I bought a USB drive that Robert made, and he made digital copies of this music, and then he sold me that thumb drive for $15,000.
So, what are the legalities involved in that? Like the storage lockers, the songs had never been released.
Never.
He had, you know, there was some of these tracks. How do I say this? These songs were never coming out. Let's just
a lot of these. Yeah, a lot of these songs weren't coming out. A lot of this was for the 2000 attentions. Like, obviously, this album was ready to be released in 2001.
Mm-hmm. I agree, because some of these tracks sound better than the album version.
Yeah, they sound way better. Not overproduced. And then there's a lot of good stuff on it that just was never released. Some incredible work by Axelman, Aesthetic Grace. The vocal on it, man, was awesome. But Our School is probably like the coolest track for me. But
so
Fernando was. Go
ahead. This is what I'm trying to figure out. In 2008, was there not some sort of disaster? Like, wasn't there like, I remember reading something about Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, even maybe Def Leppard and shit. Like, a lot of their music was lost in a fire at Universal. Is this maybe not part of that?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. It could be. The band never said anything to me about this. The
reason I ask is because this work, if that were the case, I don't know if that is or if it's not, but if that were the case, then this work would have been lost forever had this shit not went down. And these CDs in this storage locker, if these CDs were sitting next to a window in a fucking tool shed somewhere, and they got a little hot and melted, none of these tracks would have ever existed again if this was the only copy. And just like the House of Blues, how there was one tape, like I may be connecting two things that are in no way related. I don't know, but I don't know. It would seem kind of. I'm going to tell myself that that's the situation, because I like the idea that this saved some music that would have been lost otherwise. Just like with the House of Blues, that debacle. The good thing that came out of it is it saved a show that would have been lost forever otherwise. It was almost lost forever.
I don't think that this stuff would have ever been released until the band was long gone. Yeah. But it's just pure speculation, though. But looking at GNR's history, they're not known for just releasing a lot of stuff. So I would assume that this would have just never seen the light of day if this hadn't have happened. But I'm glad it did. So, but with this stuff right here, though, like, I started driving back home that morning after purchasing it, and then that's whenever I started communication with Fernando in regards to this whole to everything. I remember my whole drive home, dude. Like, I was on the phone the entire time, like the entire 14-hour drive back home. I was on the phone the entire time, whether it was different people from other podcasts. It was just different news sites or just different people wanting to know about the stuff. I was on the phone the whole time, and like people were calling. I was just letting them hear the tracks. And it wasn't until I got home. It was that the next day, that I got my first phone call from Fernando about this mess.
What did he say?
So he was convinced that it was the attorney out in New York that was causing all these problems. And I had to tell him, actually, the attorney in New York is the one that's actually not doing anything wrong at all. He is just, he wanted to sell it. He wanted to come off of it. And then I had to direct their attentions right back to Robert Bird, which was the one actually making copies of it and selling it, which I had so Fernando wanted all my text communications with him. He instructed me not to speak with this guy no more. Keep far distance from him. He wanted the PayPal transactions with him, which there wasn't any. I explained to him it was a cash deal only. So I gave him every text and every email communication, every picture that he sent. What's funny was those pictures of the CDs. Once you open up the file, it actually has the GPS coordinates embedded in the picture. Where from his apartment. So it will take you right to his house.
Wow.
But so it was enough. It was enough. Everything I gave him, was enough to prove that Robert was selling. He made copies of the stuff. He was still selling it. So, it's kind of I helped him with that. And then I had to.
So you not only gave him the name of who was doing it, basically led him right to their fucking doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somehow you still get blamed. But let's continue and figure out how that happens.
Okay, so when I was speaking to Fernando about it, the first time we spoke was just strictly just me and him. And then I was explaining to him that how the money was raised, that it was a group funded deal. I had a bunch of people come on, and we all just raised the money between this group, and then I was the one that just went to go get the deal and make it happen. So I told him the situation I'm in now was these tracks are about to be sent to everybody because everybody, those who contributed, they bought these tracks, so it's theirs. That he kept instructing me not to, and I told him, I'm like, well, there's $15,000 on the line here. I've got to, I'm not going to eat this,
Yeah.
And so Fernando told me that the band will take care of that, just to sit still on the tracks for just a little bit. So
now, if I sit still just a little bit, here's where I started paying attention to this situation. I log in. I haven't been on I'm going to talk from my perspective while you're doing this. I haven't been on my GNR forum or any Guns N' Roses. This is before I even started Guns N' Radio. And I'm sitting at home. I know I was watching GNR that day on YouTube. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just see what's going on in the community. So I log in, and all of a sudden I'm seeing, let's kill Rick Dunsford, let's kidnap his children, and fucking... And I'm going, what the fuck is gone? And this was like painted on every fucking forum.
What's he done now?
I was like, what the fuck happened? Because I hadn't spoken to you in a long time. This is like the tail end of the dark ages there, of the wilderness years for us, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I still love your family and you guys, and and I'm like, what? Who's there? So I sent you a message, and I don't think you ever saw it, but I did send you a message.
Oh no, was it Instagram or
no? It was Facebook.
No idea.
It was Facebook, and I said, dude, what the fuck is going on with you, man? Like, I was like, I'm seeing some scary shit, man. I hope these people don't know where the fuck you live. Like, I hope everybody's okay. And that was, and then I was like, and so the more I read into it, the more I figured out what was going on. And honestly, it really disgusted me. And that was the first time I was ashamed to be a part of this fandom.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just I I mean, it's a very passionate fan base, and you know, I kind of look at it like, you know, people are wanting to do whatever they can to get new music because this band's not giving it to us. So I mean, and I did some pretty extreme things to get this music as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know, no, I wouldn't threaten anybody's. I wouldn't make a threat to anybody or anything like that. But
Or their children.
you know, like, but I did. You know, but I, you know, but I'll tell them whatever they need to hear. You know what I mean? To get them to agree to sell the stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was you know, like, so at that point, you know, like, where I just sit on it and just be quiet for a little bit. It was about an hour later, dude. I get a phone call back. Because Fernando sent me an email that says, "Hey, me and Doug Mark, can't stand that dude." He said that they're about to call me back. And then I'm like, okay, so I get to a quiet place. They give me a call, so I had to explain the whole story again. But there's an important detail to this story that I guess Fernando chose to ignore. And I told him that, and this is the reason why he called me, because he didn't want the lease to happen. But I told him that, you know, everybody contributed. You know, there's like 100 tracks that I got to send to everybody, but I've only sent them 2 tracks, and that was Hard School and Atlas. Again, I was being honest with him. I told him that these tracks were shared with the investors. You know, I wasn't hiding nothing from them there. So I mean, it was just being upfront and honest about it. And I told him that I can't control what's going to happen with these 2 songs, you know, but I will do everything I can to prevent it, and I will try to keep everybody not to share, you know. So him and the attorney, I told them that twice. They both knew this, and they asked that they'll just need the names at some point. I'm like, okay, just let me know when you guys need whatever, and I'll give you guys whatever you need, you know. I was cooperating with them every way possible. So that's where you start seeing all this bad stuff written about me online, because I just went completely quiet.
I got a quick question. Now that it's over, had they given you the money and they said, okay, here's all the money, pay off all your investors and make this thing go away, would you have kept a copy for yourself?
Kept a copy of the music?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, bro.
Because I sure as fucking hell would. I would have.
Who's gonna destroy it, man? For real, man. Like, yeah, man. Like, there's I mean, I'll tell you, man. There was a lot that went into getting this, dude. Like, I mean, it was a lot of investigation work, dude. A lot of I had to talk to a lot of people to make this happen, man. It was really. It wasn't just like this dude agreed to sell it and all this stuff. You know, like, I literally had to like.
You had to convince him.
Yeah, I had to force this dude to sell it to me, man. Like, I had to make him realize, dude, you're missing out on all this money because this other guy's selling these tracks that you bought, you know, and it was just eating him alive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to him.
And dude, so what's funny was this New York guy this attorney wasn't even selling anything, dude. He wasn't even trading any. I think he just sent like a 3-second clip of Atlas to one user, and that was the same user that was giving me all this information about him. He gave me his number, his email, and here's another thing too. Like, whenever I went public with this whole thing, on my GNR for the first time, I went public before I even went down there to buy it. And the reason why I went public with it, because nobody was agreeing to sell. Everybody was just, nothing was going to happen with it. So I was just going to put some pressure on this New York, the guy who bought the CDs and the guy who was originally selling the CDs. I was trying to apply some pressure on them, you know, out them publicly, you know. Like, this user right here did buy these tracks. And so, I mean, I had to go that route with it, you know, but if I didn't do what I did, man, we wouldn't have gotten these tracks. So I had to, like, kind of play these guys against each other. And, you know, but Robert, he was so hungry for this that, you know, $15,000, man, just to make a copy. Easy money, right? And then when you think you're getting it all in cash, and there's not going to be no digital trace, you know. But the thing was, the dude left so much digital trace behind, you know, with the text messages.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, like, at that time, everything went quiet from my end. I stopped talking. I did as Team Brazil asked me to. Just stay quiet, don't talk to anyone. And after I got the money the money back from the GNR camp. I refunded. I sent the refunds back, and then the next day after the refunds cleared, Hard School leaked online. Like the very next day, Hard School leaked online.
Oh wow! Did anybody tell you they were going to leak it, or
no?
Did anybody? Do you have any indication as to which of the investors it might have been?
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just not going to give.
You're not going to call them out.
I'm not going to give anyone any kind of recognition on any of this on any platform that I'm on. So I just prefer to leave certain parties quiet. But okay. I have my idea of where some of the leaks came from. And again, it's just none of this would happen if this. I would have just held off on just sending these tracks, until. It's all good though. So
can I interject to where I was now?
Yeah.
Since we haven't really talked about this, and again, wilderness years. So I'm at home. I have an MP3 sent to me from a friend of mine. It's like, dude, check this shit out. It's that GNR song. So I was like, okay, I'll bite. So I downloaded it, and it starts out with that long guitar riff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because see, I was thinking, and then it goes, the guitar when it went, bam, bam, on now, I recognized the melody, and I was like, no fucking way. Because, we've been here before. We've been tricked a couple of times, thinking, okay, this is the song, and then it'll just loop or something like that and be the same shit all over again, or it'll be some fake horse shit altogether. So I'm thinking somebody's fucking with me. So it goes, oh, caution, and all the shit we're familiar with. And I'm like, okay, get to it. And then when it said, all in good faith, I went...
Yeah, wait a minute.
When it was, I'm half-ass listening to it up to the point we get to all in good faith, and then I'm like, Scooby-Doo, whoa? I would not. And then as it come on, and I was like, no fucking way. And then the chorus hit. By the time I'm still processing. So I had to stop the track and go, holy fucking shit. And I rewound it to the beginning where I was, because of how doubtful I was. And I had to listen to all of that part all over again because I was only half-ass listening to it thinking it was horse shit. All right.
Well, you do right there, man, because I already knew the name of the song from Jesse before I got it. So I remember when I got whenever I got this thumb drive, and I got to my sister, dude, I immediately plugged into the computer, and I was looking for the song Hard School because that's the one I wanted to hear first. I already heard Atlas because he burned it on a CD for me, all the vocal tracks. So Atlas was the first track on there, and so that was the first track I heard. And then I got made to my sister's, and I put the thumb drive in, and I looked for Hard School because that's the one I wanted to hear first.
Was Atlas Shrugged worth all of the build up to you?
It's different, dude, but. It's better than some tracks on Chinese. I think it would have. It's better than some of the tracks, but it's not an outstanding track. I thought Hard School was a way better track to me.
If I had to trade Prostitute for Atlas Shrugged, I would not make that trade.
No, I wouldn't either. No, Prostitute's a way better track, but I would have traded Scrape or something like that. Or
speaking of Scraped, we're checking that out on Guns and Radio this week. So,
oh hell yeah, got to hear that one live too. But
nice.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite song on the album, honestly.
Yeah, mine too.
But what was cool about these tracks though, that Brian May track, perhaps. I knew that because Jesse again told me that was the third Brian May track because I know he did 3 tracks with him, and when I saw that on the CD, and then there was the actual disc for that CD said Brian May on it, so I was real excited to hear that one because I never knew that track even existed. I didn't know this was going to be a part of it. But so, it was just a lot of great stuff here. But
what format were these in? Were they in WAV, MP3?
MP3, dude. They were low grade MP3.
Okay.
Yeah, he just like I say, he just stuck in his computer make digital backups of this.
Okay.
What was funny though, because whenever GNR started reaching out to Robert, his story was that this thumb drop was already in the locker. He didn't make copies. The CD was already in the locker. He didn't make copies. and then you get a text message from him. Hey, I made that copy for you of the thumb drive, and I made you a CD with
Okay,
just
so
some
they
vocal
reach out to him. He's lying, obviously,
Yeah.
because now you've sent them the text message where he says like he's made copies of this.
Yeah, and then he was also bragging about selling to selling to someone in Texas. But whenever I met with Robert, dude, he was also talking about how he was just with Tom Zutat recently, and that he's going to have a lot more to sell. And then he was talking about this hard drive. He was talking about this mysterious hard drive that had a whole lot more stuff on it. Again, I thought he was just trying to get more money out of me, but there was a little bit of truth to that, with the hard drive, but he didn't have it.
There was a hard drive, but he didn't have it.
Yeah, that hard drive is still in Zutat's possession, according to him. But, so Robert, what he was trying to it sounded like to me that he was working with someone to get Zutat stuff, if not Zutat directly. I'm not saying that's what was happening, but he definitely has someone that was connected was able to get their hands on more of this material.
So he didn't just blindly go in and buy this locker and by dumb luck get thrown into this. Or do you know?
Well, I know there was at least 2 lockers. Now, one of these lockers, I believe a lady named Nina bought, because she sold to a couple people that I know. But it was mostly like Appetite rehearsal cassettes, or it was like Use Your Illusions outtakes, just DAT tapes. Because one locker had all the old GNR stuff in it, and then another locker had all the stuff when Zutat came back in 2001 to work on the album, So,
okay.
The way Robert was describing it was he was doing this auction, and then he saw this locker and he saw some gold records, and that's what made him decide to get that locker. After he purchased that locker, he says Zutat reached out to him, was wanting to get a couple sentimental stuff back. He didn't ask for the music back. He was just, I guess, wanting some awards or whatnot.
Well, that's understandable because that's important to him.
Yeah. So while we're talking about this part right here, I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit just to kind of explain what happened to the locker and why the locker was auctioned off. And this was Zutat's exact words when I spoke with him, that a card that he had on file apparently expired, or he got a new one, but the storage company never notified him that his method of payment had expired.
Oh. So
that locker got behind by $100 when it was auctioned off. Zutat was never contacted by the storage facility. So according to Zutat, that this Universal actually was going after this storage facility, blaming them for this for everything right now. But
yeah,
so that was Zutat's story.
See, that little detail has never come out anywhere. And all of this time, even on Guns and Radio, we blamed Tom Zutat for this whole thing. And it turns out, well, it's not his fault either.
No, Zutat definitely blames Robert Byrd for it. And he was explaining that Byrd made over $100,000 off of this locker. And, I mean, I can see it. He was definitely selling a lot of stuff on eBay. He had a bunch of unreleased music from other bands, like Tesla. And Robert was telling me when he put a listing for like some kind of unreleased Tesla music that they were worse than GNR about getting this music back. Like, really, Tesla was? They should just be grateful anyone still listening to it.
Yeah.
my bad. Some people don't like them, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't think that they would be freaking out like GNR would freak out with this music, because they haven't really done much. But
who would freak out any fucking way? It's been sitting in a goddamn locker for 20 years, and you ain't fucking touched the shit. You're not going to do anything with it. Stop acting like that you lost something. You didn't lose anything. Fuck you. You didn't lose anything.
So, so I'm going back to this phone call with me and Fernando now. Like, when I explained to him how much I paid for it, Fernando was making comments like, I wish you just would have waited a little bit longer. And he was explaining how Axel just got done recording laying down some tracks in the studio the night prior to that he just finished all his recording, which, I mean, that damn COVID messed it up apparently. But
yeah,
So he was telling me about that, which is kind of cool to hear. And I do know that they were in the studio because, again, I go back to my other source, Jesse. He had a friend that worked at the studio that they were recording in, and he sent me their equipment being loading into the studio, which is, which I knew that would had to have been true, Um, so now we're going to where Hard School leaked, and there's like just more tracks started leaking online, but it was nothing damning. Hard School is the only damning track that really leaked. Everything else was just demos of Chinese songs,
Yeah, instrumentals mostly of songs we already had.
Because that's all we want, bro. We just need the instrumentals. That's all we need. But no, so we go to so I get like this. So when Hard School leaked, I get like this email from Fernando saying, "Why are you leaking, Rick? I thought we had a deal. Why would you turn your back on the band like that?" And I'm thinking, like, is he just accusing me of this, or is he asking me did I do it, or like I believe he's just accusing me, man. Like, so I told him that I'm not leaking anything. In fact, I've been taking all this shit from online for weeks now, trying to prevent this stuff from leaking. And then I get a phone call from actual Universal's attorneys saying that Fernando saying that I wasn't truthful with him about the songs being shared, in particular Hard School, and that they felt that they were defrauded, or I don't know what.
But you have evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, I definitely have evidence to the contrary right there. And so I was truthful with him.
You still have all these text messages, all these emails, and everything, right?
Dude, I've still got all the original House of Blues stuff, dude. So like, I save all of it. I've got like a hard drive full of this mess, dude.
Well, I'm just thinking if you ever have to walk into a courtroom with this shit, you're gonna want to be able to lay it all out there.
Well, I mean, so like right here, so this is where like I really started feeling like Fernando was just kind of was doing some crappy stuff here, because I told him twice, about these songs being shared, and that I can't help it if Hard School or Atlas leaks. So I get a letter from Doug Mark, okay? And Doug Mark goes on to say, tells me that.
Tell us who that is.
That's GNR's attorney.
Okay.
That's their attorney. And so he goes on saying I defrauded his client. That I financially hurt him with the release of Hard School. And again, Hard School was the only track mentioned right there. And then, I felt like I still didn't do anything wrong because I was truthful with him. I told him about these songs. So, like I get a letter saying that I have to owe the band $15,000 back. Yeah, right. And that they're no longer obligated to fulfill their end of the agreement with me anymore. Which, again, what's our agreement right here was I gave them the music back. They just gave me the refund back. But I was explaining to Doug that I put a whole lot more work into this. That I at least want to. I at least want tickets or something for Vegas. Or just I was trying to get something out of it. Because they definitely didn't want to do no kind of meet and greet. They didn't want. I don't know why, but so that's what I was trying to get out of it. But I was like, just give me some pit tickets for Vegas, and I'll be straight. So they got me VIP tickets for each night in Vegas, and they told me they were taking those away. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then it wasn't really a whole lot of communication with them at that point. Everything just kind of remained quiet. I was just ignored the GNR camp. And I was going to Wichita to go see the band.
Even after all of this, you still are going to go support the band that you love and go see them.
Yeah, because they added a couple of songs to the set that I haven't seen. Because last time I saw them was in 2017 in Nashville. But, so, yeah, I was going to go see them. I wasn't hiding it either. I definitely put definitely on a social media post. But whenever a week prior to that, though, Jesse reached out to me again. I go back to Jesse because this dude just has a lot of information. He knows a lot of people. But he's asking me, he's like, bro, what happened in North Carolina? I'm like, I'm not in North Carolina. I don't know what's going on. He called and explained to me that Fernando came out and he was asking people, is that Rick over there? Is this Rick over here? Really just looking for me.
Like he doesn't know what you fucking look like.
And I'm like, okay, wow. He's looking for me. So I reached out to him that day. I sent him an email and I said, hey, I've got word that you were looking for me. I do have tickets to a show coming up in about a week. We could talk there. Is there a problem or what's the deal? I want to make sure, because if they're looking for me, obviously I figured they're going to try to kick me out. So I was trying to let them know that I do have tickets coming, and if it's a waste of my time, I won't come to a show. You never once told me not to come. You never once told me I was banned or anything like that. So I make my journey to Wichita, and right when I get there, we got an Uber to the venue, and then I proceed to go get pictures in front of the posters that I see, like I always done in the past,
Yeah.
And then I get up to the door. I see some familiar faces. Everybody's telling me stories about what happened in North Carolina. The people that were there, that Fernando was asking. One guy was telling me that Fernando was asking him, pointing at different people, asking if that's me, and then to let him know once he finds me. And then another guy that was in line asked me to walk with him for a minute, and then he goes on to tell me that, hey, I was letting you know that he's telling me that he's already spoke with Fernando, that they're kicking me out tonight. And he asked, is there a message you want me to give him to maybe to try to ease the tension a little bit, he is offering to kind of talk to him for me, to see if there's anything that can be done. I'm like, if he wants to kick me out, his mind's already set on it, so if that's the route they want to go, then that's fine. So the guy who came with me, his name was Corey, I told him, look, anybody comes up to me, approaches me at all, just videotape it. Videotape it no matter what, if it's a fan or what, if anybody comes up to me to talk to me and it looks suspicious, just start videotaping it. So, I'm in line, I get an email from Doug Mark. It's called Performance Letter. And he's telling me, hey, just to let you know that you're not permitted to watch my clients perform at any venue or whatnot. So I'm just letting you know to save yourself a trip. So I get this email, and then about 15 minutes later, Gio Gillespie comes walking out, which is like GNR's main security guy.
Yes.
With armed police officers, and they pointed at me, hey, you, come here. So I'm sitting there, I'm smiling still, I'm like, what's up, bro? Just trying to keep it positive. And then he's showing me printouts on my Facebook page. He's showing me that Doug Mark letter. And then he says, you've already been given this letter. And I'm like, have I really? Well, let me check my email. So I was playing, I'm like, I just got an email 15 minutes ago from a Doug Mark, and I was like, is it this letter? Just kind of explain to him, that you guys literally told me 15 minutes ago that I'm not allowed here after I flew here,
How fucking out of touch with reality do you got to be to think that that's okay? That's all.
So it was obviously like it was an intentional deal from Fernando. I guess that's just his being vengeful or whatnot. I don't know what to do, because this was a different side of Fernando that I've never seen before.
Yeah, because he's always been a good guy. Like, he seemed trustworthy. Like, there was a camaraderie there, if not a friendship.
He was always cool, man. Like, he always
you should have been able to talk to him and like.
Well, what was the aggravating part was his comments on Reddit that he would make about me. Because he was doing this whole Reddit thing. He would go and talk to people for extra questions. And I remember him making some comment that me and Rick will cross paths soon. And just talking about he's just going to, that we'll be crossing our paths soon. That we're going to talk, that I'll have to face the music soon, pretty much with him.
And then when you do cross paths, like a pussy, he sends his fucking bodyguard.
Yeah, that's all cool, man. But the funny part on the video was like, man, you see one cop, he realizes that a buddy of mine is videotaping it. So you see that cop, he has his hand on his gun, and he's sitting there trying to walk his way in front of me, keep blocking every angle he could, And so like Gio, he had to print out on my Facebook saying, because I took a picture in front of the VIP backdrop, which I had VIP tickets anyway. So, I'm entitled to my picture in front of that backdrop because I paid for it.
Right. You're entitled to see the goddamn show.
So they told me that I was spawning in their face that I was at the show. I'm like, okay, that's what you feel. So I asked Gio, I'm like, well, what about my money, my refund? Because it was like over $500 spent on this ticket and the trip. And he told me to count my losses. I'm done, and to get out of here. And that if I show my face back here again, that I would be arrested. So I get off the property. Immediately, I told my buddy Corey, I'm like, let's get this video online right now. So at the time we're uploading it, and then one of these other guys that's friends with Fernando and all them come up. He's sitting there like, obviously know what he's doing, He's trying to find out more information. And then a few minutes later, I get an email. Once the video's already online and everything, Fernando starts emailing me, telling me that, hey, I have proof that you purposely, that you intentionally had this recorded and you instructed to have it shared online. And I'm like, well, that's not a secret, bro. Yeah, I definitely did do that.
Yeah, no shit.
Myself. And then so when I was sitting across the street, dude, I was sitting just on the sidewalk. Everybody's going in. I'm just kind of hanging out. They literally had a cop sitting beside me the whole time, watching me, making sure I didn't walk on their property. Okay, dude, it was like the whole night.
Did you chat with this guy or anything?
No, I just took a couple pictures, but during this whole time, I've sent you the emails though, but Nando's.
I've seen him.
Yeah, I was sitting there wanting to argue with me the whole time. I'm outside.
Come out and talk to me. You know where the fuck I am.
Yeah, dude, and he's sitting there telling me how I brought this on myself, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, bro. And then the one email that was funny to me was the email I got from the attorneys telling me that because Hard School leaked, that's what voided my contract. And then Fernando emails me saying, you were right. You did inform us about these tracks being shared, these 2 tracks being shared. So if he's telling me that I'm right about informing him of everything that I stated that I informed him about, what's the big deal here? Why are you guys going after me with Hard School leaking, or what initiated this? I can't control if other people have this track. And then no telling who Robert Byrd is still selling to, because if I bought copies, there's a chance that others could have bought copies, because he did tell me there's others in Texas wanting to buy this stuff. And then even another guy in North Carolina said that Robert offered to sell him some more tracks.
So at what point did the video and the story go viral?
That day. The moment I posted the video, I think within a couple hours it was over 20,000 views.
Who reached out to you? Because you did a lot of interviews. I know you talked with Eddie Trump. I believe that Rolling Stone covered the story.
Yeah, so so that was all me. I was pretty pissed the way that everything went down, and I was out to. I guess it was I was wanting to make things as hard as possible for Team Brazil. You know what I mean? I was, I felt
betrayed.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I want to make things a little harder for them. So I created this. I wrote out this draft email. Kind of just laid out a few key points, and I just sent it with the link to the video. I just sent it to Classic Rock Magazine. I sent it to reached out to a bunch of different news media outlets. So the story, because there's 2 waves of the story that really picked up. The first wave happened after I got kicked out. So after the video went viral and everything like that, I get started with letters from Universal Music stating that I'm responsible for these 97 tracks. It was going to be up to $100,000 per track. It was going to be almost $14 million for everything altogether.
Wow.
That's what the math was with everything I sent in that letter. So I'm still trying to think, the media blitz kind of died down a little bit. I still, there's other people working on a story here, so I reached out to TMZ. I made something for TMZ and I sent it to I sent them the information, and they contacted me almost immediately, wanting to get a lot more detail on the story. So I went on to explain to them that, that I sent them all the documents and everything. And then January 2nd, man, that's when TMZ decided to run a story. And that's where it was a bigger media blitz came with it. And after that happened, a buddy of mine told me that he's listening to Eddie Trump's show, and that they're talking about me on there. So I reached out to Eddie. I did get the number to call in. So I called in and I spoke to the guy. I guess he's filtering out the calls. And I explained to him who I was. They brought me on, and I did this 30-minute interview with it. Again, all this was just to, Fernando put me. So just returning a favor here for him,
Yeah.
So that's
you're kind of getting it out there. So the more eyes that you can put on it, the less bullshit they can really get away with.
Yeah. So the moment I went public with it, and every time they sent me any kind of legal documents, once I submitted, once they knew the TMZ's gotten involved with it, I never heard back from them ever again as far as getting these about repayment or whatnot.
Okay.
So I was able to. I got them backed up. They won't. None of them will even message me at all, which is fine. The less I hear from them, the better.
Well, looking back on it now, if let's say something happened and you got in touch with Fernando again and all of that, how do you think that situation would go down? Would you be willing to talk to Fernando today if he reached out to you?
Yeah, I would accept his apology if he reached out to apologize.
I mean, to me, it sounds like if you look at all of the stuff that happened, and like you said, you documented everything. I've seen the documentation. I don't understand how the hell this happened. How he put together that you were the one that did this and you're the sole person to blame. You took all of the blame, and just because he knew your name.
Well, here's another thing too. You had other parties that were working against me too. You know what I mean? And again, these parties, I refuse to acknowledge or mention any time before. Which
ass kissers, basically, right? That are trying to stir up shit.
Yeah, you got I guess they work with T Brazil to take down YouTube videos. They do different things to disrupt the fan base. You know what I mean? And that seems to be that's what I've come to learn too, man. It's just was there something good going on within this fan base? It's like Team Brazil wants to come in and just mess it up, dude. Oh, okay, well the fans enjoy watching these videos on YouTube. Let's just go and just take them. Let's take them all down.
Yeah.
I mean, they just anytime to disrupt any kind of fan momentum that we have, man, they just take it away from us. They give us too much stupid merchandise, but. But I felt like I really did everything I could to help them at the time. But once I realized, that this wasn't going to work out in my best interest at all, I was done trying to help them at all. And I didn't care what leaked or what came out, Now, I'm not saying I'm the one that did it all, but it didn't bother me anymore. It's just, the stuff leaks fine. I don't care, because there's too many hands on this. There's too many hands on this already. By the time Fernando got involved, that if you would have listened to my first warning 10 days prior to purchasing it, that we would not be here talking about this.
Right.
Yeah. No one would. Fernando would have been the hero. He would have stopped this leak from happening. But old boy dropped the ball here, man, and. So that's kind of where things went bad with me and him. It's just,
yeah.
But
and that's the story.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the, the media blitz and all that, dude. That was just, I was just playing. I was playing back with them. They were, I've been accused for all this. You know what I mean? And I made sure to definitely let my voice be heard with it, and put the story out there as much as I possibly could.
And has anything, but you haven't heard from anybody, like there has been no further update ever since?
No, not as far as like the legal part of it. No, there's nothing, man. There's ever since I turned the story over to TMZ, I haven't heard back from Fernando at all, and I didn't really hear from Bet at all during this whole thing. I've dealt with only Fernando.
Well, sounds like you did the right thing then, because God knows what they would have tried to get away with had you.
This Brazilian mafia.
Yeah, okay, so I guess we can tell where we get the Brazilian mafia joke from. Robert Byrd, in his podcast, which was during all of this, Robert released a 2 or 3 part podcast that was nothing but a fuck Rick Dunsford podcast. Was supposed to be about storage lockers. I was thinking it's a good idea for a podcast. I can't wait to hear it, but it turned out to just be 3 episodes of fuck Rick Dunsford. and so he tells it in his podcast, like Axl Rose has gotten messed in with the Brazilian mafia, and I remember thinking, wow, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's so funny though, because I mean, like, it is a bunch of it is all these Brazilians taking over running things for Axel, man.
But it's one family. Like,
yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know, dude. It's just it's very bizarre the way he has this whole operation ran, you know. But I don't know, man. The coolest thing I did get out of all this was when I did my taxes for that year, man.
God.
They had to send me like I guess a 1099 form or whatever, and it had like the Black Frog entities on it, you know. So I took it, man. I just framed it and put it up beside my desk at like